affinities to different heroes. He played some crazy position fours, really. But some stability that Matt did bring into the team benefited them a little bit, like being able to pick that Phoenix all the time.
Yeah.
Looks solid.
I must say, the head-to-head score we just saw, it was very favorite for Thunder Predator. And actually, a lot of people might know there is a fantasy league going on at the same time from One Esports, the One Esports Fantasy. And also, most people there prefer Thunder Predator for this series. It's actually, in terms of percentages, 82% goes the way of Thunder Predator. That's a lot.
That's high.
To think, you know, this team finishing second place in the South American DPC League is coming into the major, playing in the playoffs, and they're the favorites. Like, that is something not many people would have expected a week ago.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys saw the Twitter post, but one of the, I'm not sure what he is, a coach or a team owner, a Brazilian team owner, I think somewhere in the South America, he bet on Thunder Predator just winning all the games, and he won like $5,000 on $1 investment.
I saw, because it was an $8 investment,
$8,
and you got 30K.
30K?
Because it was multiple matches. That one was multiple matches. Like, he just bet all of them in all the group stages, and Thunder Predator won so many series in the group stages. I mean, that adds up. Some value bets being done right there. By the way, if you do responsibly, please. Yeah. But I want to talk about these teams. They're very different. We saw it already in the head-to-head. I think when you look at the offlaners, it shows most of all, especially we have quite a bit of data for both of these teams to go off on, and Frank and XXS couldn't be further away from each other in terms of, I feel like, what role they play in the team. Well, obviously, other than position 3, but also in terms of what heroes they're playing, Gods.
Yeah, they're really, and I think with Thunder Predator, they play less around Frank than what Aster do with XXS. I feel like often Thunder Predator kind of just leaving Frank a bit on his own. He is playing some different heroes that are more about enabling the team. His Nature's Prophet has been really good. He's always going for that mech pipe items. He's kind of that team player, it feels like, with Thunder Predator.
If you're playing a Venomancer, you're either a sick person or you're a team player. There's nothing else. And he definitely plays the Venomancer in most appropriate way, I should say. Like, goes for that Vessel, Solar Crest, Force Staff, all about utility, helping out the teammates and crushing the laning stage. Meanwhile, on the other side, XSS, I was worried about him because in the DPC League it was different. Borax and him, they had a very different approach to the lane than some other teams, in which sometimes even Borax would be the true position 3, something like Taiga and Boxy that you see from time to time. And he's also very versatile, but in this tournament so far, his hero pool was not. Like, you can see these Marses, sometimes
the Marses,
and the Marses. And you think, why is that? Because of Matt, right?
Yeah, I think Frank is like that team play with his items, but XXS is a team play with his heroes. He's going for the big team fight heroes, the Mars obviously being the big one, but even in the past, you know, he's known for heroes like his Magnus and stuff. He still kind of plays that similar style where he's looking to have that high impact team fight contribution. Yeah,
I'm very curious to see how both of the offlaners are going to perform in this upcoming best of 3. And in order to perform, they need to take the stage. So let's have that happen.
Welcome on stage, Thunder Predator. Welcome on stage, Team Aster.
I love the little sidestep on where am I supposed to stand? But yeah, Aster and Thunder Predator are ready to play. It is a best of 3, one best of 3 between them, and either advancing in the playoffs or elimination. A lot on the line, and I think one of the most important questions going into this series, and especially going into Game 1, will be for Thunder Predator, how do they deal with the loss they experienced yesterday, Lizard?
The loss that they experienced yesterday shouldn't be too heartbreaking for them. They played Secret, they played pretty much the team, the favorites of the whole tournament, and they held strong. They really did. They held strong throughout the game. Like, you could see that they had options, they had ways of winning the games. However, Secret was a little bit, I wouldn't even say too skilled for them, I would say too sneaky. The way they played around them.
It was crafty.
Crafty. They made those 2 games a circus. They didn't play normal Dota, what Thunder Predator is actually accustomed to here in the Major.
And I don't feel like Aster's a team that can do what Secret did. Obviously, you know, Secret, you mentioned one of the favorites, Aster playing with a stand, but I think even just their playstyle is much more something that Thunder Predator's going to match up well against. They want to build that big 5-man team fight. The heroes they pick, they play, you know, Lamb's playing the Enigmas, the Abaddons, and just the way they play around their mid laner. I think that's going to be a much better kind of setup for Thunder Predator to thrive here. Because
it was a better setup for Thunder Predator to thrive, because in the group stages, Thunder Predator was able to 2-0 them, and that was on their last series of the day. So, you know, if there was any fatigue, it didn't hurt them at all. But we also had an interview with Puppy yesterday, and he was very open regarding what they saw in Thunder Predator and how they managed to beat them and what they identified. And it didn't really have anything to do with like, oh, this hero or whatnot. It was a macro strategy, if you will, Lizard.
Yeah, that's something that Secret really thrives on. You can feel it when you play against them. You can come out swinging from the laning stage. Suddenly, they're just splitting you apart, and you can't find your head, your tail, your legs. You're just
you have a tail.
You just don't even know what you're doing in the game anymore. So yeah, it's a peculiar team to play against.
And they do that with, like, they're not like running at you and killing you or like overwhelming you. It's like they're puppeteers, like pulling you around. They're pulling all the strings. They're always the ones in control, and suddenly they've got like this 3 to 5k gold lead without even like, and you're like, you don't even know what happened.
I remember even games versus them when mid one was still in. That's when we would be able to match up, and it was peculiar. Like, you would win the lane, you would have 15-0, and then afterwards, for a team of our caliber, we weren't able to crack
just
them.
Over.
Yeah, you just can't crack them. In the mid game, they just split you apart, and they take advantage of the map much better than you do.
I think that a lot of people have this asterisk with Aster, obviously with Mad playing as a stand-in, and Lizard, you already highlighted the difference in synergy that created with XSS, the offlaner. But with the results that we've seen from the last few days, and them having some time to practice also yesterday, of course, I feel like Aster is starting to reach, and I know that I don't want to sell Borax short, but I think they're starting to reach they're on an upward trajectory, maybe a little bit. I know they lost their final 2 series of the group stage, so that might not seem that way, but I think they have what it takes to learn a lot from that.
Yeah, I agree. I think XXS has learned that he needs to do more in these games. Like you mentioned in the past, where perhaps he was getting less farm and not really being prioritized. Now he's, you know, getting the chance to step up, and a lot of these games he's doing just that.
Especially if you give him the same heroes they were giving him throughout the Aster versus Thunder Predator series before, and that's like something like a Dragon Knight. If he's playing that Dragon Knight, you can't completely sack him. It's not a hero that does too well when completely left alone if they're able to zone him. If they're not able to zone him, sure, leave him, rotate mid, minute 4, minute 6, every single rune. But if they are able, perhaps stick there with him until he builds power threads, 2 bracers, until he's able to actually contribute.
And talking about heroes, we have the draft in front of us, and one hero that I still wanted to mention, I don't think we're going to see it in the first 2 picks for either team, but Aster is, I believe, the only team that has played as many games of Queen of Pain as anybody else. Like, they're the only one finding the strength in that hero.
And White Album has looked amazing on it.
Yeah.
He's looking like a new kind of emerging superstar mid player in some of these games, particularly on the Queen of Pain. And if you see Thunder Predator go for something like that Death Prophet, especially if it's a core Death Prophet, that's where suddenly the Queen of Pain can look really good.
And look, Team Aster, and they switched up their bans completely from the first best of two because they were banning out Void Spirit +1. Meanwhile, DP, even Void Spirit DP one game, Void Spirit plus Tusk the other, they adjusted their bans completely. Meanwhile, Thunder Predator did not. They banned out the same exact duo, IO plus Monkey King. And you can see Team Aster instantly taking advantage of that with the Death Prophet opening. Now, Thunder Predator, will they follow up with, let's say, Phoenix Mars, or Phoenix alone, or Mars alone?
Or are they going to get one of the fours?
Or
They're going to
just
go
the
for that.
Tusk.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
about to say Tusk or Spirit. Generally, one of those two is what you want to get here, unless you're going for one of those Mars Phoenix type combos.
Yeah, and you can see this. That they play really well with these fours that are very bulky, and they will, like you said, Earth Spirit, Tusk. There's throughout all the series that I watched them play. You can time them. Minute 4, check that rune, gank mid, maybe a little bit earlier, and they play really well around them.
They're a team that seems to always be watching the clock, like bounty runes, power runes, particularly because they play around Leo style. I feel like their game plan is very much to usually get MNZ some kind of Battle Fury carry hero, whether it's the Troll, the Jug,
even the Lifestealer.
Lifestealer. He's going Battle Fury carries, or he's going like a Radiance Wraith King type carry. And then in order to allow him to have the space, it's Leo style who they want to have running around, making plays, grabbing runes, and ganking the side lanes.
Win rate dire 70% on Timbersaw. It is a first pick Timbersaw, but one big thing that I see here is you've already snatched the Death Prophet away. And so far in the games in which Timbersaw struggled, he was playing against that Prophet. So
if they want to have any answer to that Timbersaw, this is the time where they need to pick it. They got, of course, one pick for Thunder Predator before heading into that second ban phase where I'm sure Aster will remove any kind of threat to the Timbersaw.
And the biggest threat is usually the Monkey King, which they banned out themselves in the first phase. So that was, I think, really clever because I actually think Thunder Predator, they play a lot of Timbersaw. I think they wanted to second pick it because usually Timber is picked up when you have second pick and you second pick it, you ban it. So Aster basically get one step ahead of Thunder Predator and take it for themselves.
Yeah, you can see that they are very well prepared coming from that one day off and from the banning stage, the first two bans. You can already see that they're trying to switch things up. Like you said, Monkey King banned out versus the Timbersaw instantly with Ursa. Put that bear in the trash can. You don't want to have him playing against the Timbersaw in the laning stage. But a really good pick also from Thunder Predator that we haven't talked about, Pangolier. Like,
does that consider to be a counter for the Timber? No, right?
No.
I mean, it's a good hero, don't get me wrong, but
I just value Pango very, very highly. That's pretty much how I feel about the hero. There's a reason why Old 11, when he's playing that Pango, he outdoes what he usually does on his offlane, and he is a star performer. But on Pango, even he's on a different level, so they ban out the Bloodseeker.
I feel like Frank is going to play Pango, like, maybe more the way we saw Ice Storm, where he's getting those like team items as needed.
Hood maybe.
Pipe. Depending what the game calls for. I don't think Frank is going to be trying to go for that more scaling damage farming build.
Pango has been picked close to 30 games with the 65% win rate, doing pretty well. And Thunder Predator themselves, every time Frank has played it, they've won every single game. 3 times, that is.
Above him, probably Puck, Void Spirit, Mars, perhaps Phoenix, DP.
Yeah.
But Pango is definitely up there. And you can see these two teams right now, how they're approaching the second banning stage is, let's just cover the picks that we have and then move on from there. Because Ursa and Batrider both to cover up the Timbersaw in the lane, because you don't even want the Bat versus DP lane. And on the side of Thunder Predator, they banned out the Bloodseeker. The question is, will they ban out something like a Grimstroke as well? Because they might think that this is a 5 DP.
Yeah, I'm curious to see where Thunder Predator end up, because those Timbersaw answers just not really in the pool. If anything, it's going to have to come from the mid lane. I don't think they're going to be able to get a favorable lane matchup for MNZ into the Timbersaw. You've got a Tusk tag team is not bad, but they're going to have to get some like heavy burst damage coming out of their mid lane, which, they or like Cats, like the Storm Spirit type hero could be very much what Leo style wants.
Yep.
The respect on the White Album Queen of Pain has been shown.
So you can see that they're not convinced that that Prophet will be a core.
Yeah.
We've seen her quite a bit on the support team.
Yeah, for Aster actually, this is going to be the third time they picked it, and it's been support once and it's been mid once, and they lost both games.
Yeah.
So it's something maybe that they practiced a little bit more yesterday.
Hopefully,
I hope for them.
Yeah. White Album overall maybe didn't play that much DP in the CN DPC because usually they let it go through and then they counter it with an SF or a Zeus or something similar that really crushes her in the laning stage. But he can play it definitely quite well as well.
Do you think that Thunder Predator should consider banning out the Phoenix? We've seen Mad that being one of his more comfortable heroes, and it's still in the pool.
I don't know if it's a must ban here because Aster haven't got that team fight around it right
True,
now.
yeah.
Like it's not looking like a Phoenix draft for Aster. With that said, they're very comfortable. I think they are lacking lockdown. So if anything, I think Aster need to either get some control on lockdown from whatever their core pick is or from their forward position. You know, the Shadow Shaman, the Lions have looked good. So if they're picking Phoenix, they need a way to protect the egg. They need some control because
it feels better on TP, right? On Thunder Predator.
Yeah,
it feels
absolutely.
better on them. Like, if they take this Phoenix, you suddenly have Pango, Tusk, a lot of control or a lot of chaos happening around that egg. These two heroes on Team Aster really do not hit it as well. So if you value the hero, you could, but I'm not so convinced that they do quite a lot at least.
Yeah, usually Moose is playing more, basically playing the roamers. He's playing, like, he may even be the one playing the Tusk here, just because that's kind of the Thunder Predator style where Moose is incredibly active, loves to roam around the map, find kills, secure runes, and basically give Leo style a good game rather than Frank. They often sacrifice Frank's game for Leo style.
And the Jug band out.
And they'll pick up the Phoenix themselves.
Yeah, that's pretty much why the Jug ban, right?
Yeah, I wonder if they are going to be having Moose play the Tusk then, as mentioned, and then putting this onto MJZ, or if they're going to actually...
It's very flexible, right? I think it's nice to have a tag team plus Pango on the offlane as well. It's very strong. Also, tag team comes in handy versus Timbersaw. In the laning stage, it's one of those things that can take him down.
So far, every time Thunder Predator has picked Phoenix or Tusk, and I have done both of them twice, it has been MJZ on the Phoenix, and it has been Moose on the Tusk. So that is probably going to be repeated here.
It also makes way more sense. Oh, Windranger.
Wow.
All right. Yeah, they do have some of these. You know what I really like about Thunder Predator? They're not afraid of picking some of these heroes that are a little bit out of the box, right? Not complete meta heroes.
Was it Vici Gaming that played like Windranger twice?
There was another team.
I think it was one team has two Windranger games. I think
Vici
it was
played it at least once.
Yeah, then they have played it twice. Yes.
Yep.
Don't know how they did though.
This is, I mean, an interesting pick. I feel like they are going to be looking to play around this Windranger a lot. Yep. They've got this Tusk, the focus fire with the tag team, a lot of damage.
Yep. Troll makes quite a lot of sense for Team Aster, as a lot of these cores have, well, not really too many position ones have been banned out actually in this game. Monkey King and Jug pretty much on Thunder Predator. Bloodseeker, if you consider it that, yeah, sure. But Troll has been considered top 3, top 2 carries in Chinese region, so...
We saw LGD just first 2 pick at both their games.
Yeah, and they crushed it too. Windranger, by the way, just got the information. Vici and PSG LGD both picked it once, and it has a 100% win rate.
Nice.
There you go.
Yeah.
Looks pretty solid.
It's very much a confidence pick. There we go.
Love it.
Really picked.
Ban rate after that game that they won. Someone bans it and that's it.
It reminds me a lot of what IG did when they're picking TA, because Thunder Predator is also a team who plays TA. They're just going to pick their mid laners, their heroes, rather than just, you know, go with what the meta says is the right mid.
I respect that quite a lot. I think it's the right way to approach the gameplay, especially now when you're sitting next to each other and you're staring each other down from one booth to another, and you're like, my Windranger is going to... own you. Yeah, I like it. I actually saw the Windranger in DPC EU as well. I believe it was Alliance with Alchemist in the offlane and Windranger's mid.
It had okay showing. I wouldn't say it was the reason for people to win. I would say maybe sometimes it was the reason for some people to lose.
Okay. I love the Abaddon ban, by the way, from Thunder Predator. After yesterday, maybe, you know, of course, it's Lanham. He literally brought this hero back from the dead. Like, he was the only one that was playing it for a couple of weeks, so...
Are we then still expecting a Lanham hero? Because, I mean, Lion, yeah, Mad can play that easily. Death Prophet is still an option for Lanham as well. And I guess the question is, what is White Album playing? Is it the DP or is it not yet picked?
Yeah, they don't know as well. As you can see, they're banning out Invoker and Abaddon. They can't really tell for sure. I wouldn't mind the DP position 5, but it can be a little bit problematic versus Tusk and Pango. You can die on that lane. However, Troll makes it so much easier. No matter what your 5 is, the Whirling Axes versus Tag Team are extremely good.
How does Wind Ranger do against DP mid?
Not a matchup that I've seen recently way too many times. But
in the past, it's been fine for both, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, from what I've seen.
Nobody should die, and they both should get at least some decent farm out of the lane.
You have Siphon on the Wind Ranger. She can Wind Run away. Later on, you do have a lot of burst damage from the Wind Ranger. So if there is some sort of rotation, and it's DP5, never mind. Scratch all of that back.
Insta-pick, anti-mage. They saw this storm coming. AM has looked a little rough for a lot of this tournament. Thunder Predator have won a game with it, I believe, at least once.
Yep, versus Alliance, so we don't really know what the benchmark there is.
We don't count games.
Or we do know now.
They do have AoE Silence versus him. They have Lion as well with a lot of catch. Troll doesn't match up that badly overall versus AM too. They needed the hard carry, and they needed something that's decent versus Storm too. My eyes are really on White Album and the Storm Spirit. If he does well, he can just dominate this game because AM will not find a way to join these fights.
Yeah, and if those other lanes do well, AM can't carry this game alone. That's generally been the case with the AM games. Even when AM manages to get free farm, if the other lanes are falling apart, AM suddenly like, well, yeah, I counter this Storm, but there's also these other farmed heroes to deal with. So
it's been 50-50 so far for White Album. 1 win, 1 loss. This will be his 3rd game of the tournament on the Storm. Lizard. Is it Storm or Wind Ranger time?
2 wins on Thunder Predator. That's definitely true, but I really like how they adjusted their draft on Team Aster, and I like what they picked. I'm going to risk it for the first game. I'm going Team Aster, despite the results.
Okay.
I will play it safe. I guess it sounds like play it safe. I'm going to go with Thunder Predator. I don't think Anti-Mage is safe by any means, but I think it is against a lot of cores that matches up well against. Other than the Troll, you're against Timber, you're against Storm, and I think their supports are going to give AM a good game.
I will join you in your prediction for Thunder Predator. They have shown great performance in the group stages. Yes, yesterday wasn't too great, but I believe that they are a team that can bounce back and make a deep run through the lower bracket. But it all starts here for Vici Gaming as well. How is this first game going to play itself out? We're going to find out together with Black and MLP.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We are into our first game of this BO3 between Thunder Predator and the side of Team Aster. And it is, of course, MLP, Dota, and Black. Looks like we have an immediate 5-man smoke out from Thunder Predator into the mid lane, so we might have to just wait to see how you're doing. But the smoke has broken. White Album.
Storm has been caught out. No upper venom though, so they can't catch up.
How are you doing, Black?
It's decent. I just hydrated a little bit with about 500 milliliters of water. Perhaps I'll take another half liter in later. But scratch that. Another attempt possibly here for a little skirmish.
Yeah,
it's going to be a 4v5 though.
Still can skill up the tag team. They're trying to wrap around that. M needs to be very cautious, but Moose could not break the gap. Aster is still holding their ground. They really want this bounty rune. 10 seconds to go for it. Thunder Predator looks like they're going to be the ones to back out. They'll leave it be. And that'll be that. No first blood yet.
And Anti-Mage is predicting the lane correctly, or rather Thunder Predator is, because AM really wants to be matched up against the Timbersaw. He wants to avoid Troll at all costs, so that lane swap is not going to do anything for Aster here. Thunder Predator still getting the lanes that they wanted to originally.
That's why I'm very glad you're here, Black, because you are the anti-mage expert. Now, I wanted to ask you straight away, is this a good anti-mage game for Thunder Predator?
It's not the easiest AM game I've ever seen. Lion is really good against AM once he gets his blink. Storm, you know, it can go either way. If you get a fast Orchid, then AM can be in trouble. And this Troll AM matchup also is absolutely horrendous for AM. So they picked it as a counter to Storm, but this is not an easy AM game, like at all.
Fair enough. I mean, it was a very confident pick in the draft. They pretty much insta-picked it at the end. So Thunder Predator, they still seem very confident with it.
The thing is, AM
does
doesn't actually lane that well against Timber, so we can already see him here struggling quite a bit, below half health. And it's not going to get easier as the levels in reactive armor get higher, and he gets his Orb of Corrosion. AM is going to struggle in this lane.
That he is. You're already seeing it, like you said. Bot lane. It's like Frank ended up getting a little bit low there. There was an Earth Spike out by Mad. Of course, he's got Monet on the Troll with Moose on the Tusk. And I wonder with this bottom lane, in fact, hold that thought, because top lane, Phoenix going to drop very, very low, but not quite enough to die.
Yeah,
Just
the
barely
Fairy Fire
surviving
meta.
JC.
Everybody and their mom have a Fairy Fire this patch. Oh, going in again
not
though.
matter though. Nice chains in from XXS. He secures the first blood for Aster. That was pretty much a max range chain after that level 1 chain, and it was very nice. XXS. It's very calculated.
Yeah, it's a perfect start for him, using all his mana as well, so he can't get mana. How do you even say mana broken? Wind Ranger, a little bit of trouble here, but still has Wind Run.
It's gonna be all right. He'll turn around onto White Album.
Be careful here.
Another attack out. White Album gonna keep going. The T1 tower not gonna be enough. Eventually they'll get the kill, but White Album definitely getting the much better end of the trade. Leo, very confident to run back in like that.
Yeah, Leo Style did not expect the double overload attack here, but it's not the worst ever. Like, he still gets the goal from the kill at least, and he will be able to just play the lane fine. It's not like he just got a solo kill and nothing happened. At least it wasn't traded.
Certainly. In that mid matchup as well, like, do you give the advantage to the Wind Ranger, or do you think White Album should have the advantage on this Storm?
Hold that thought real quick. Tag team coming out. Snowball. Easy kill. Regarding the matchup, Storm Spirit generally dominates Wind Ranger come mid-game. Laning phase is a little rough for him sometimes, but as soon as you're 6, you can't die at all. Phoenix. Low again.
This top lane is this top lane's really rough. I mean, you've said it many times, but Minos is not. He's farming, but they are losing a lot of HP and going through a lot of regen to be able to sustain themselves in this lane. It really is not getting any easier. It's just
only going to get harder.
Much worse.
Yep. For sure. And the Storm pick, you know, even though there's a counter by AM, he is completely free otherwise. And we have seen Storm's
White Album. Oh, he's going to turn around. He's sounding up. He might survive this. Leo, Snowball, Chad. Moose is going to try and save the day. White Album will go down. Oh, Moose. Just classic
nice
Moose
rotation
task.
here. Yeah. Otherwise, he would have died there on the Wind Ranger, and it's a solo kill for the Storm. And this is really here they need to shut down, because he's the guy that's going to make all the moves with a fast Orchid. He's the guy Wind Ranger is afraid of, because you're itemizing into Maelstrom most of the time, into BKB, but the Orchid timing is much sooner than your BKB is. So that's why Wind Ranger is always having a tough time against Storm. These kills certainly help with that.
Very important. Being said, Leo is going to run all the way back to the fountain. Moose will take over the mid lane for a bit. Still looking at that top lane. XXS is having a great old time with the Timber. And bot lane, Earth Spike. It's going to fly out onto Frank. Frank, hexed up as well, not looking too healthy, and may drop. They have the damage. They should. He'll eat another Fairy Fire and will get out. Frank, he'll survive. Aster, unwilling to dive the tier 1.
I'm telling you, man, the Fairy Fire meta. Everybody's juking the last couple of hits with that, and it's been paying off so many times throughout this whole DPC.
Now Moose comes in. Gonna find over that 5-minute bounty rune, but here comes Frank with the swashbuckle. Now the shards out, just blocking the way. Matt will at least deny it off. He will get the deny, gets the hex out. He's gonna go for a run, but Moose does have the snowball to make sure he secures the kill. Be able to pick one up.
Yeah, denying the bounty rune here because he didn't expect to get the hex off. Just came off cooldown. Better be safe than sorry. Because if Tusk gets both bounty runes, it's like completely a terrible trade for them. AM top, still free farming, sort of. Well, not really free farming. Let's say farming. He's doing okay for himself.
Yeah, considering the circumstances. XXS, he's completely out of mana. They're going to try and get a bit of damage out. Not going to be
Just
too
not
much,
happening.
of course, reactive armor. A little bit too much armor on this Timber, but I suppose as long as XXS doesn't have mana available freely, it's going to be a little bit safer in this lane.
Yeah, that's why people consider AM to be quite decent against Timbersaw, simply because Timber can't really be the aggressor in the lane. Until he gets a Soul Ring, of course, which he now has, so he has to be a little bit careful on AM.
Mid lane, Leo.
Storm
And moves again. Setting up a White Album. He's still not... Well, he actually is level 6. He was just out of mana.
Not even. He was just completely locked down with a Shackle Shot and then a Snowball. Maybe he was farming a camp. I couldn't exactly see what happened, but unusual to die with the level 6 up against this combination.
Now bot lane moves. Great rotation again right onto Monet. He is not level 6 yet. He'll get the Whirling Axes out. A great chance. It's not going to be enough. Frank not going to follow up, and now the zip in. White Album zipping from way long away, and they will get the kill. Swashbuckle not enough, but now the Shackles Leo. He will rotate and make sure they get a great trade out. White Album will run, but he's got mana. You can do it the lazy way and just zip away. They got the troll though.
Scrap way. Well, okay, interesting chain here. Maybe he thought he was level 25 there for a second.
Yeah,
But
maybe.
The pressure on AM is really mounting here. Like he's feeling the pain right now. He's still having a decent game though, so his Battlefield timing shouldn't be too late. But again, fast Orchid on Storm could be very problematic. However, he has been quite shut down on their Storm Spirit, so that's good news for them.
XXS trying to get aggressive. Mad is around. He'll just drain some mana. Or even bring the DP back up. Lan M, he's going to join in, but well, Minos, he just seems fine. He's got the blink up. He could just blink at any moment. A lot of rotations to try and secure an AM kill, and now they get the silence on the Phoenix, but well, MJZ, he's just going to walk away.
Yeah, he's still got a big stick as well. Always got to be careful there. A lot of counterplay potential.
A lot of wasted time here for Aster at that top lane.
But you can just see this AM is not comfortable at all. He's always sitting at half health, and he can't harass the Timbersaw at all. He's always at full health on the Timbersaw. They'll probably need a rotation from the Wind Ranger soon. With that Javelin Focus Fire, we'll definitely be able to bring down the Timbersaw.
Again, Minos going to be chased a little bit. Chakram's out. He'll just blink away. Can't lock him down. He's actually just taunting them.
Yeah, well, if you can't farm it, he's going to cause some mental damage.
Yeah. Or not, just have a bit of a dance to that top lane. Now there's a bit of a group up. Thunder Predator, they've got 3 heroes up there. 4 now with the TP in.
He has Rolling Thunder.
Snowball. Mad, gonna be targeted. Shards off the mark, moves. Still gonna chase him down. He does have the tag team. He might actually reach him as well. Mad is gonna be able to get away, but now the Swashbuckle and Rolling gonna be cancelled.
Nice Impale.
Very nice stun. Moves is out of there. Back down to the bot lane.
Yeah, just wants to soak XP, get level 6. With +1, they could potentially be able to kill this troll, but they will need the Wind Ranger, who is so far being quite passive. Like he's kind of just chilling in mid lane farming. And he has BKB queued up right now.
You say passive. He has got 4 kills.
Sure, but that was mostly because people rotated onto his lane.
That's fair.
I really would like to see him rotate to the Timbersaw and kill him with a potentially... we'll have to see if he's gonna assemble the Maelstrom or not. Probably will. Because he had a BKB queued up. Maybe it was just another debate for me.
Right, Album, gotta be careful. 10-minute rune, not gonna spawn down bot, but he is gonna zip in onto the Pango, but a nice snowball again. Moose saving the day onto the Storm. They won't have the lockdown, and instead it's onto Mad. Mad is
Easy
gonna
kill
be
on the line there. It was
easy.
a very good snowball, dodging the Impale on 2 heroes, resulting in a pretty free line kill. And Wind Ranger? Nope. It's not a debate. He's actually going BKB. The Javelin has been locked. No Maelstrom for him.
That makes enough sense though, right? Because the Javelin gives you enough bonus damage. The BKB is going to make it so nobody can really kill you. It seems to make enough sense here for Leo style.
Yeah, it's mostly because of what I said before, that the Storm with Orchid really just kills you if you don't have this BKB. So it makes a lot of sense. I like this item build quite a bit. It doesn't let you scale as well, but at least you're going to be safe. Because in the end, it's still your aim that you want to protect the mix space for.
That mid lane, Frank, he just goes in for a casual swash. Under P, looking pretty happy to just spend some time farming, and Aster, of course, are going to pretty much replicate the same. I mean, Monet is nowhere near the Battle Fury yet either, so you want to spend that time on the troll. Just make sure you get that farm up.
Both carries actually quite underfarmed here. The big winner so far is really the Wind Ranger, sitting at 6k net worth. Doing very well for himself. Storm struggling quite a bit.
Oh, mid lane again.
Rolling Thunder!
Rolling Thunder indeed. Thank you for that, Mr. Black. I do love your sound effects. The mid tier 1.
Yeah, it's another free tier 1 tower. I say another. The first free tier 1 tower for the Wind Ranger as well. He's coming very close to his BKB here. Only needs 800 gold for that. After that, they pretty much only have Exorcism that goes through it.
It's going to be a very tough scenario for the side of Aster. Once that timing is up for Leo, and he found a DD rune to bird. This is going to be very painful now. Leo, anytime he wants with that DD rune, he's going to be able to just find a pick off, maybe even 2. Once he gets the lockdown. It's a matter of who he wants to go for.
Yeah, it's a lot of damage coming out from his Wind Ranger. Can he still kill the Timbersaw is the question, or with that hood? It's not going to be an easy task. Diving the Phoenix here, but he has Egg.
Not an easy kill for XXS. Now rotations are there. Frank swashing Lan M, shackles out, doesn't really latch, but they get the kill instantly. Leo, unstoppable now as they go for more, but a great Earth Spike there from Mad. White Album right onto the Pango. They will get rid of Frank into Moose. They want the tusk, but a great chance to block the way. Now XXS, he's gone too far. Focus fire out, the shackle's gonna lock him down. XXS needs some help, but they've got the control. Leo, he's 7-1-1 now. This Wind Ranger looking very scary.
Yeah, BKB up in just 100 gold. That tag team focus fire combination way too strong, coupled with the Javelin. Too much damage coming out, and now AM getting all the space in the world. Almost up to his Battle Fury. But of course, Troll is very close to his own as well.
Thing is though, as the Troll, you can't really keep up with the AM, right? AM with that inbuilt mobility could just blink around the map, split pushing lanes, farming neutral camps. The Troll, it does farm fast with the Battle Fury, but obviously not as fast as this anti-mage.
It's going to be tough, yeah. But the thing is, just how the matchup works, you need to be one item ahead of the Troll as anti-mage, because otherwise you're not going to fight him like ever. If you ever get rooted, you're just pretty much dead. And it's just inherently a pretty damn bad matchup for an anti-mage, unfortunately.
Now that is fair.
And this Pangoli is actually really far behind the net worth. It's only at 3.5k. Same net worth as a Tusk, pretty much.
Yeah, Frank's had a tough game so far. So,
Snowball. Very deep.
Towards the north, Moose. Theo gonna move in. Shards out. They really enjoy going after Mad. Mad this time is gonna be able to get himself out.
Nice career pickoff. Just one swipe is all it takes. Chopping some onions.
What's wrong with that? Minos now just gonna keep farming up, and Battle Fury is there. Yasha gonna be farmed up now. You look at Monet, still trying to get that Battle Fury up himself. Almost has it. It's getting close enough. Bot lane, they're gonna start the push. Rolling Thunder though has been committed by our Pango Frank. Go right after Lan M and force him away from the tier 1, but on the left side, they've started another team fight. The Egg gonna come out in time. White Album, he's gonna try and focus it down, but Moose, he's in to try and protect. It's not gonna be enough. They'll get another 2 down so far from Thunder Predators. Leo style now gonna be targeted.
Big
but the Mana Void out. The damage from Minos kills off White Album. They do still get Leo style. Lan M, he's the one on a triple.
Yeah, the +5 DP, we've seen it time and time again. It's not a hero that you can just kill easily, and this exorcism is just dealing so much damage. Out of all heroes in the team fight, DP actually dealt the most damage from the Dire side. Like, how silly is that, coming out from your +5? And that's exactly why DP is being picked first phase pretty much every game, or banned. Ridiculous amount of damage output.
It is rather silly, I do agree. It's pretty ridiculous. Top lane, Frank, he wraparound. Mad. Even for the Hex, Frank trying to juke this one out with the fog. He isn't going to get
That's
away.
the
The Earth Spike is there, and White Album zips right in, and Mad will take the kill with the finger. A nice little rotation there from Mad on the line. Help out White Album to just get that Orchid timing a little bit faster. But I say that it has been a little bit late. Still bot lane. MJZ waits for the Icarus dive, does get away, and now here comes Leo. He wants the focus fire into the shackle, but does he have the damage output this time? He won't have a DD rune, but he will have a Minos. So they'll go in after this Timber with no mana left, but XXS, he is still a very tanky boy. It's coming slowly. Power shot out now. XXS has so many arrows in his back. And Minos, he'll just take it with the Mana Void.
AM, one of the better heroes against Timbersaw as well. Sitting at like 0 out of 1200 mana. Sitting, like, he has a lot of really good Mana Void targets this game. DP, Storm, Timbersaw, potentially even Lion, but he's never really low on mana to begin with. So, you know, AM is a hero that can take over this game. He has some good matchups, but he has to be very careful. If he ever gets caught up by a Silence or Hex, he's gonna be in trouble.
(13-8), 1 Kano worth lead for Thunder Predator. Leo has gone back for the Maelstrom now, by the way. Just needs that Mithril Hammer up, but is very close. We'll have it after this creep wave.
Yeah, just the most efficient damage item you can get for that price, as well as your scaling tool. Helps you clear creep waves and creep camps that much faster. Smoke up by 4 here. Excluding the AM.
Predator. What's down? They've given it away. Oh, Aster, they are heading down toward that tier 1 bot tower again.
Exorcism is up. We have seen how much damage he dealt last fight.
It did. I think it's going to hold the triangle. In fact, Leo's found another double damage rune. He's going to go pick that up instead.
Maelstrom as well. There's gonna be a lot of damage coming out from this Wind Ranger in the next team fight. Or potentially even Roshan. Yep, he's going straight into the Roche pit. Have to see if Aster can sniff it out, or if it's even in time, even if they sniff it out.
Focus fire and the double damage. It's a very quick process. Of course, the tag team there from Moose as well. And Roshan gone now. 18.5 minutes in, Leo will take it.
Yep. Leo is the guy that will be in the fights right now. AM still wants to split push, so it makes a lot of sense that the AM does not get the Aegis. Good shackle, but no focus fire.
Doesn't matter. They have the damage.
Punch him right in the ribcage. Well, I guess DP doesn't really have one, but what did he punch?
Who knows, Whack? Who knows? Top lane. They are going to go in onto Minos. That's a big, big pick off. They got the Orchid. They'll get the kill. White Album making use of it immediately.
Yeah, that's kind of what we were hinting at. You know, pre-Manta style, Storm is a really good hero against anti-mage.
How far is the Manta though? He needs just about 1,000 gold. He's not actually too far off it.
This death though, setting him back quite a bit. He would have probably had it by now if he didn't die there. Unfortunate death, but still stomachable, I'm sure. Is that even an English word? Who knows? We're creating our own.
Thunder P. I'm moving into that die triangle again. Meanwhile, XXS just split pushing the bot lane. Monet hanging around him. But mid lane, they're looking at Lan M.
Yeah, he's an important kill in those team fights. He needs to be taken out. Like, he's not very tanky, but he deals a ton of damage. So he should be the main focus here of the Radiant, as well as the Lion, really. Okay, we will need a fast MKB from this troll. Maybe even right after the BKB. because otherwise this Wind Ranger, who's now going for Aghanim Scepter, is not going to die. Maybe even Bloodthorn on the Storm, you know, but they need one way to pierce that evasion.
I certainly agree with that. Monet, for now, he just wants the BKB up to be able to actually get involved in these team fights. Top lane, Matt. Really playing with fire. They know he's around there. Yeah, they'll make the jump in. He's still hiding, but now they'll see him. Thanks to that creep wave. Icarus dive through, Matt. Can you really juke them out? No, he cannot.
You could almost say Matt is a bit mad that he did that.
Oh. Any XDs in the chat? Any XDs? Frank, focus fire, Leo, nice shackle. They've got Lan M. Still going very well. Like Aster, they haven't really found their timing at all yet with this draft. It just feels like Monet, before that BKB, he just can't really do anything. And his team doesn't really want to play without him, it seems like. His bot lane now, XXS. Again, gonna be chased down. Shards are on target. Moose actually blinks right up to the high ground to get a D-ward off instead. We'll force XXS away from that bot lane, at least for a bit.
Now it's gonna be really hard to catch this aim with that Manta style. No blink online yet. Well, he's really the only one that can initiate on him. As you said, Troll does not feel comfortable to fight without his BKB. He will have it in 600 gold, but even then, this Wind Ranger can make quick sushi out of this Troll, who can't fight back.
White Album. He's got Frank. Sunray will be enough. In fact, Minos, he jumped in. Shackles again out. Matt, you get the Lion kill, and immediately they are into the tier 2 tower. They're feeling very confident with that Manta pick up from Minos. I don't blame them.
Yeah, that's his power spike. They're making good use of it. Of course, it ages on Wind Ranger. Still a big problem for Aster as well.
TP?
Huh.
It's a 10-second BKB charge gone now for XXS.
Yeah, going BKB on Timber anyways is not an item you usually see. I love it this game though, against both the AM as well as the Pangolier and Wind Ranger. Makes a ton of sense. Maybe we'll even help him to kill that egg in like a high pressure situation.
Perhaps. Aster grouping up in that mid lane. I don't see any smokes on anyone. There's one in Lan M's backpack, but they aren't going to commit yet.
Moose scouting them out.
Get to the high ground. Moose is being very patient.
He has no BKB right now.
His team,
but
he does not, but they won't initiate.
Yeah, be patient, youngster. Oftentimes, patience is your best weapon. That's my advice for all the young people down there.
Were you saying to me, were you calling me youngster, Mr. Black?
No. Oh, dude,
Okay.
You're an ancient man.
Both
over in Dota and in age.
Yeah. It's all over for me. My time's up.
Yeah.
Moose. Yeah. Leo. Heading down to the bot lane. Monet is hanging around.
He has to be a bit careful here.
Gonna be there too. That he does. It's a very kind of deep farming area for Monet. Chris dived out, Sunray. Now they are trying to chase him down. Shackles onto Lan M just to hold him while Monet will get focus fired. He pops his own BKB. Mad, he gets the Hex off into the Earth Spike. Monet just wants to run with this BKB. Poor old Mad has been caught again, but they want Lan M first. They want that DP ultimate gone. It's a lot of damage on Moose, but he won't mind for now. They do get the kill. Still onto the Phoenix. They'll get another. MJZ's gone. White Album, how much more can he get done? XXS. Onto Frank, Shackles is there, Minos right in, blows him up. Monet now with the Battle Trance and the Hex out. They'll be able to get Minos. Get the AM. And Aster, they kite that very well.
They do. They outplay Thunder Predator quite a bit here, and you can just see this AM. If he ever blinks in on the Troll, he pops his ult, his aim is just gone from this game. Like, he needs to make sure he cuts the backline rather than blinking on top of the Troll, because it's very risky. Like, if you ever get rooted, you're just gone. Husk and Ranger going in again.
One album. Zip away. Leo style still going for the shackle, but now the Hex is there. Matt trying to protect with the snowball in from Moose to save the day, but not for long. They still got Leo style, and now they've got a cherry on top. They found the task. White Album, he'll take both kills for himself.
going in way too deep here, giving away 2 more freebies. They need to be careful here. Aster recovered quite well. They're now 2k ahead. Previously, Thunder Predator was at 3k. And as I said, like this troll is going to be a big problem soon. Like once he gets up all his items here, what is going next for the Basher? His aim will not be able to touch him anymore. It's only the Wind Ranger that can deal with him at this point.
Actually going to be very effective against Minos. And a Predator, they're hanging around that mid tier 1, trying to maybe defend, but it's going to be way too late for that. And Aster more than happy to back off. They got what they came for.
AM building into an Abyssal though. Once that's up, he will be very efficient at just taking out the back line. Like even the Storm, he did not choose to itemize for a Lincoln Sphere, so the Abyssal Blade is gonna be very effective against him as well. Wind Ranger finished the Aghanim Scepter, is pretty much immune now to the Troll Warlord.
MNZ, that's a very interesting position. He will actually blink the other way. Leo is making his way up.
Mad.
They want to fight. Leo going straight in onto LAN-M, but the silence is out. They've got Minos as well. The Headshot Man will lock him down and they get him again. Shackles focus fire onto LAN-M. They'll at least get a DP for their trouble, but Aster, they definitely want to fight now. Moose will try to snowball, but it is not looking great for him. White Album,
another triple kill for White
on
Album.
the Storm.
Yeah, it's the second fight in a row where he got one. He's getting absolutely massive. AM dying again. Pretty out of position there. And suddenly Troll overtook him in the net worth chart.
Real big problems here for Thunder Predator. What do you think they need to do? I mean, you look at that graph. That is, that's a large dip.
I mean,
you think they just need to
tough.
calm down a bit, Thunder P?
Calm down for sure, but you know, it might not be like smart team fight anymore at this point. Like they have a lot of potential for pickoff here with that Blink Dagger on the Tusk. You're gonna see AM getting hexed here out of position. He just gets absolutely blown up. Good zipping by the Storm. Mad with a very good initiation here, and all they lose is a DP. Like they gladly take the trade any day of the week.
It kind of goes back to what you were talking about, Black. You did mention you'd rather see the AM not kind of blink in first, but just wait it out a bit and go into the back lines. But it does seem like the last 2 team fights, Minos has been the first one in with that blink, and it always kind of ends up not working out as they go in again. Frank now getting very low. They've already got Leo style of moves. He disappears. Onto the egg they go. MJZ, he will survive. But that's going to be a free Roshan for Aster.
Yeah. It's just, we have seen quite a bit of AM games this tournament where AM just feels like non-factor. And I said it at the start, like he doesn't have the greatest core matchups here other than Storm. So he's struggling quite a bit to find his footing in this place, or in this game rather, even though he had a pretty free game. Like AM is not a hero that can really play from behind, and now he's behind the Troll, who is already a counter matchup.
White Album, I mean, he went for this grittier build-up going into the Aghanim Scepter, but it's going to work out at this rate, the way things are going. He's very influential.
I'm a little bit concerned
Album.
also for the Wind Ranger here. He had a magnificent game earlier on, right? But the last 2 or 3 team fights, he couldn't really do a whole lot. Like even though he has his Aghanim Scepter, his focus fire is getting interrupted quite nicely, and he just can't stay on a target.
A massive problem here. Then Aster looking very good for game 1. Monet going back for the Basher. He actually chose to go for the SNY first. Makes enough sense. The Basher just seemingly unnecessary at the moment.
Yeah,
even has that Paladin sword you love to talk about.
Yep. I mean, this Troll is gonna be an absolute nightmare to deal with. With the Saint Yasher and then soon to be the Basher on top of that. Well, once he gets to Abyssal Blade, he'll just blow up anybody he jumps on.
They found out Mad, but they are going to jump in anyway. White Albert, who do you go for? Nerds, Walrus punches him down. He'll BKB and zip away. Frank trying to get a Rolling Thunder out. Still going in again. LAN-M forced to BKB himself. That's going to be it. They did not find the initiation, Aster. Back off, get a reset, and maybe go back next time.
Post 5 DP actually finished a BKB already. Yeah, it's kind of silly. That early triple kill really set him off to a very good start. And now, it kind of feels that this DP is another core, you know? Can't just blow him up, and he's gonna deal a ton of damage in teamfights too.
That he is. What do you do about this if you're Thunder P? I mean, it's 7K worth of a net worth deficit now for this Radiant side. Aster really giving it to him so far.
Feels like as though there's too many targets to focus. Like, they need to kill the Storm, they need to kill the DP, they need to kill the Troll, the Lion. Like, they're all priority targets, but you have to choose. You only have so many abilities to really go through all of them.
Aster, they're still smoked up as 3.
AM picked up a BKB
across
now.
the map. Might be good timing. He's going to have it in time for this team fight when it does break out. Smoke will break Moose. He will break it on XXS. Sunray already out. Now MND again jumping in. Minos, that is a dangerous way to do it, but he does blow one up. XXS is gone. Monet could not hold down the AM. Instead, we'll get Moose, and now LAN-M has gone a little bit too far himself, but White Album will zip in right back after that.
But he's all alone, his team left.
He is not dying.
Okay, he had enough mana to get out. Slight miscommunication there, it looked like. His entire team was disengaging while he was zipping in. But he ended up not going down. So, no flame from us.
Indeed. Still a
you started AM,
very
though,
confident
right?
smoker.
As soon as he popped Battle Trance, that AM died like in a matter of seconds. Well, it didn't really die. He had to leave the fight in like 1 second, even though he popped BKB. And now the Troll is a basher. So next time you get a lucky bash, this AM is gone.
It's a big problem. They really haven't found an answer towards it yet. You haven't got any Halberd carriers right now on the side of Thunder Predator. You haven't really got anything else to stop him apart from the, the shackles, the snowballs, maybe even the rolling thunder. But, really nothing in the way of just directly countering the Troll.
Yeah, at least through his BKB. The only thing they have is a punch right now. I would love to maybe see Aghanim Scepter at some point on his Tusk, just to kind of kick away the Troll during his BKB. Because once this Troll BKB is down, they will have quite an abundance of ways of dealing with him.
Another smoke up here.
Yeah.
That's 5. Move
Aghanim Scepter picked up on the Storm.
Leo, he sees it, but a zip in. White Album, he's got the Vortex, but the Wind Run was popped in time, and now the Snowball moves. Gonna save the day. Turning back around with the Walrus Punch, Rolling Thunder going on. Monet, BKB Battle Trance, not really doing too much, but he does at least kill off the Tusk. They'll get moves, but that's about it. Not quite what they wanted.
Just a +4 traded here. And yeah, he was hoping for a lucky bash on the anti-mage with the Battle Trance. Did not happen. So it looked a bit silly running after the Pango there. But not far enough out of position to be able to be taken down by Thunder Predator here. Going into the MKB next on Troll. So he just wants to be able to kill that Wind Ranger. Who is really the biggest problem for him? Like, once the Wind Ranger is gone, this Troll will be the king of the game.
You are getting to that point, though, where you're going to have the Abyssal Blade on Minos. And he's getting fairly close. In fact, he's TP'd over to the triangle again. I'm pretty sure he wants to pick up the Vanguard to finish it off. And there you go. And that could be somewhat problematic for this Troll.
Definitely. I mean, he's going to focus on killing the supports and the Storm first. But the Troll will definitely have a lot more problems now fighting.
White Album gonna break the smoke. He zipped in, but zips right back out. Act in with the silence on
He's out of mana.
Gonna save for now. XXS Shackle gonna be there. Doesn't really latch onto a tree. Mad comes in now with LAN-M, but the Rolling Thunder out from Frank. Egg committed. They have already blown up 2. Leo is down with Murs, and Minos gonna move in. Does blow Mad up, but that's it. Frank.
And Leo's that also died.
He's gonna make it.
Frank makes it out barely. Yeah, they had a little fight there on the side, the Anti-Mage versus Troll, which Anti-Mage did not look too happy with. Had to leave like a little puppy, tail between his legs.
Why would you even say that, Black? Why would you compare the man to a little puppy?
Not the man, but the Anti-Mage in face of Troll.
Ah. It's your favorite hero, Black. Why would you do that?
It is my favorite hero, but you know, that's also why I know that at this point in the game, there's not a whole lot he can do, unfortunately.
Arms out. He's going to Manta it off.
Yeah. So really, AM's job now is jump the backline, kill the line, potentially the DP, maybe the Storm if you get lucky, and leave the Troll to the Wind Ranger. Because otherwise, if you ever fight him, you get bashed, and the backline is not dead, then your team is going to pay the price for that.
Yeah, so it just feels like they just need to not make any mistakes, and things will go
Yeah, just
pretty
don't make any
smoothly
mistakes,
for them.
guys. That's how you win Dota.
Stop it, Black. How dare you? Moves. Gonna move in, XXS chains forward.
Troll, now the MKB, so Wind Ranger is in a lot of danger if he ever gets on top of her.
Dire are scanning.
Want more damage on Monet to boot. Monet, does he want to wait for his own Abyssal Blade? It does feel like they are very strong. He has queued up the Abyssal.
It will all come down to the initiation. Like, if Aster gets a really good Storm initiation or Line initiation, they'll take the fight quite easily, and vice versa. If they can burst the priority targets of Aster, the fight should be quite easy for Thunder Predator too. At this point, it's all about who goes first and on what target.
Gonna wrap around the Dire jungle. Aster. I run into Moose. He's gonna walk the other way. And Smoke not really gonna lead to much. Aster kind of hoping somebody goes to farm that top wave, but nobody's showing up.
Yeah, Roshan back in 20, so that will be the next point of contention rather. Minos pushing out the bot lane to prepare for that. Tier 4 items also just arrived, but they don't have a single one yet on the Radiant side. They need to farm up those Ancients, maybe get lucky.
Zip in. They are looking to blow up MJZ, and they do. Very quickly with that finger.
Oh, Spell Prism here right away. The best tier 4 item in the game found by Radiant. Plus the Penta-Edge Sword also for the AM. Getting some really good drops here.
Spell Prism is pretty nice to have for sure. They've given that over to Leo style, so his cooldown's much shorter, and with the Academ Scepter and 2 charges of Wind Run, you can basically permanently Wind Run now as Leo style. But the thing is, like you said, the MKB is already up for Monet, so it's not going to have as much impact as it used to. Aster. Get out the Roche shards. Block Roshan in. Another smoke out
up here.
Aster. They want to try and go take a fight. Couriers are going to scan out the
All the
pits.
couriers
They
are coming
can't
in.
start the Roshan again. Every single one. XXS will chain forward onto Frank. They'd love to get started with this Pango. He does have an Aeon disc now. I get it.
Yeah, no way to burst him down through an Aeon disc. AM posturing aggressively.
Start.
Rolling Thunder.
Dumps immediately in onto the Troll. Monet is completely out of mana. He's still going to try and fight. The Snowball is there. They have so much control, and they will kill off Monet. The Troll is gone. Minos, he makes it happen, but now White Albert, he's going to try and turn this one around. Lan M already falling low. They're trying to get Frank back onto the AM, but Lan M, he's going to die. On the Predator, they want more. They see XXS.
Run away,
It's going to be just
disengage.
fine, but the Roshan's the way of the Radiant.
That should be a super fast Roche as well. And as we said, it's all about initiation. They jump the Troll before he gets BKB off. And he just gets blown up immediately. Without Troll, there's no way in hell he can win any fight. And it was completely one-sided. I never expected the fight to go this bad for Dire here. They have to be much more careful with their positioning. Now, Aegis Cheese up.
And Refresher.
And Refresher shot. Probably for the Phoenix, potentially the Pangolier.
I didn't think that was going to work out for Minos, but just draining the mana of Monet. He didn't even bother trying to pop his BKB. He had no mana. He had no way of recovering that mana.
Yeah,
it was a very easy time as soon as Monet was dead.
I mean, as soon as Monet is dead, like half of the damage output is gone. Like DP, sure, but at this point, it's not really the DP that deals the damage anymore. E-Blade now picked up on the anti-mage, just to make sure you can kite troll a little bit. I like it quite a bit. And now the Daedal is queued up on AM, bringing out all the strange items.
See, Minos' build's got Black's approval. Always good.
Of course.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Every build is good on anti-mage. There's no bad item on him. Don't at me though.
That is a complete lie. So mid lane, zip in, right in onto the Pango Frank. The Aeon Disc is going to save him.
Boy, he's so
Down to
fast!
jump in immediately onto the Storm. Minos just trying to get the biggest target. They won't quite kill White Album yet. XXS trying to save the day. Frank rolling through. Minos, he's
Aegis
quite
pop.
low. Does lose the Aegis. Monet, focus fire there from Leo. Gonna be enough. Aster, they
Good
do
fight.
get the Aegis at least.
Yeah,
That'll be enough for
to get
them.
Aegis. Next time, if AM dies again, he won't have that. So definitely a very good fight here for Aster. And they have to make absolutely sure that this troll is protected. Like he needs to get his BKB off, he needs to get his battle trance off in order for them to win any sort of fight here. Have you seen that Wind Ranger with Shadow Blade as well as Wind Run? I think he had like something silly close to 900 MS. Like he was speeding around like a madman.
900.
Yeah,
Seems
very balanced.
Seems very balanced.
I know. Maybe he'll do it again.
Let's hope so.
Oh, there it is. Oh, he didn't wind run. Oh,
Unfortunate.
disappointing.
Unfortunate.
I'm sure we'll get to see it again. Timeless ready. Up for the storm.
Items now pop up.
Yeah. Perfect item for him.
Aster still being very patient. Monet very close to the Abyssal Blade, but it will leave with no buyback gold if he does buy it out now.
I think you just go all in.
Structures
Like,
are fortified.
you need to have the Abyssal Blade for fighting power. You need to be able to jump on top of the Wind Ranger. He's a big problem, and you're pretty much the only one that can deal with her at this point. And just popped. With that flamethrower, it's such a weird addition. He just like start burning trees.
Jump in, XXS, force the blink away, now the zip in, but the start
Stronger cut
immediate
out.
White Album. He is dead. Minos, he gets through the HP pool. Monet, he already battle tranced. They can't buy back on the Storm. Minos, he's got a double kill already, and they're just kiting Aster around this team fight. Pain forward, XXS, he still wants to fight, but the stun is there. He's running very low on mana now. LANM will chase down Moose. The Glimmer, however, to save the day, and Minos, he is not done. He's just trying to find another target. But he's going to come back in, but there's your egg now out. Cheese 8 by the AM. And the shackles on LANM is going to mean he's gone. They want to keep going. Can't blame them.
Can't find anything though. Another really well executed team fight by Thunder Predator here. Finding that Storm without Link in Sphere. Like, you need a Link in Sphere as Storm against an anti-mage pretty much every game, but he chose not to go for one. Has it queued up now, but it's probably a bit too late. Gets caught up before his BKB. AM just completely blows him up. And that's why that's considered one of the better matchups.
What can I do in return?
Such a tough game for Aster to win from this point on here. They just have so much mobility on Radiant. Like, literally every hero of theirs has at least one mobility spell. Matt jumping in.
He's in with the Hex, but there's your Abyssal out again. Minos just going straight after the line. Look at the
That
damage
damage!
out on Monet, but he's got at least the root out, but it's not enough. Monet's gone. Leo goes straight after XXS. They're trying to kill off Minos, but he's just not dying. He is right out of there. Shackles not going to land, but they have so many stuns with Frank. XXS still being baited towards the AM. I guess he really has no choice. He'll just die. And Thunder Predator is suddenly going high ground. Unless White Album can make a miracle happen, but quite hard by himself.
Yeah, this AM is now at unstoppable territory, and they're going straight for the tier 4s. Monet has to buy back right away.
What's a buyback? Oh, they found the Storm,
Storm
however.
caught out again. No
White
buyback.
Album.
Dire's middle barracks are under attack.
Oh boy,
It might
White
just be
Album.
GG here.
It may just be 2 versus 5. At least 40 seconds before Matt is back up on the line, at least. The Predator,
Okay.
they're going to play it safe. They'll try to go for the Megas.
Yeah, this time not going for the throne, going for the Megas, and there's nothing those two heroes can do by themselves. They'll just have to watch and see. If they step up like a little bit too far, AM is gonna jump them with the Abyssal Blade, and they're gone. Stay back, guys, stay back. Maybe they'll get one more chance at this game.
Very careful, Aster. They have to watch their buildings just fall before their eyes. Very tough stuff. No chance of being able to defend this final lane of barracks.
Yeah, Wind Ranger is too big, Anti-Mage is too big. No way for Aster to stop them at this point. Like, it's just much easier for Thunder Predator to find a good initiation because, as I said, like all of the heroes have some sort of mobility. It's very hard for heroes like Lion and Timbersaw, even Death Prophet, to really be able to do a whole lot about it.
What do you do if you're Aster? How do you get back into this game now? How do you come back from the Megas? Well, in fact, hold that thought. They're going to go in. On the task
Rapier
moves.
time.
He will survive. Minos
Anti-Mage?
going in by himself. He's blinking into the dive base. That's not your home turf, but Leo style. He's already got Land M. It committed.
Huh. 25%
the Wind
cooldown
Waker
reduction
out.
talent, by the way. Plus Spell Prism. Focus Fire on an 18 seconds cooldown. Sounds good.
Oh. That makes enough sense. It's like you're just right-clicking, right? But
Yeah,
at
same
max
thing.
attack speed.
Yeah, I mean, why not? 400% attack speed boost permanently? That sounds pretty good.
Sounds like value to me.
It's still
Props to
quite
Frank, by the
defensive
way.
here on Thunder Predator. Perhaps waiting for the next Roche?
Perhaps. Or just waiting for an opening. It's still very respectful.
Running in circles here. It's like the vultures, you know, circling around you before they attack. Just running around the base, left and right,
look at
up
Frank.
and down.
Look at Frank showing off his Wind Waker.
And taunting a little bit, yeah. Mental warfare is half the battle. If you're inside the head, you know.
It's a Chad move,
very important
Frank,
tool.
for sure. So Aster.
You're not going anywhere.
Thank you very much for the sound effects again, Black. Very surprised
my
nobody's
pleasure.
reached out to give you a new job in, you know, some kind of sound effect business.
Perhaps they
You're
have,
very talented.
but I'm on
They
a
have.
non-disclosure agreement here, so sorry, I can't disclose any information.
Fair enough.
We just have to
Can't
wait
wait to
and
hear the
see.
announcement.
Mhm.
So the vultures continue to circle the dire base. Aster, they will hold for now. It's hard to imagine any game-changing items here. Like Monet, he's trying to go for a satanic, but it doesn't really feel good enough.
It does not. If you're behind 26k, like you need some sort of rapier level of item. Like I feel like satanic, sure sounds good on paper, you need some lifesteal, but in reality really like you need to kill people as soon as you get on top of them. And only a rapier helps you do that. And, yeah,
Is
as
that
you said,
Roshan?
can't really see much that Aster can really itemize into here. Could help them a whole lot. The Lincoln Sphere on Storm would be a really big pickup, but I don't think he can farm 2,000 gold in the next 2 minutes. And now the next Roshan has everything. Aegis, Cheese, Axe, Refresher Shot. Who takes the Aghanims? Tusk.
Good
Alright,
to
I
lose.
love it. Yeah,
Give him
now
a
he has to kick. Troll BKBs, focuses the target, kick him away. Right where it hurts. And we all know where that is.
Where, Black?
I can't tell you that. You have to find out yourself. I can show you when we meet. Don't worry.
Smoke up, Thunder Predator. We go in, XXS really the only one on the front lines. They do go though. Bash, Earth Spike is there on the AM. Maybe they have the control, but no.
Waker.
The Wind Waker saving the day. Now Leo Star with the focus fire onto XXS. Rolling Thunder committed by Frank. Forcing the BKBs out from Aster. Minos still positioning very, very confidently. He'll go onto Mad, but now the Vortex. It's an AoE Vortex
Nice
into a
impale.
big Earth Spike with the Snowball. The Snowball again from Moose. Gonna not allow them
Wind
to
Waker.
get anything done. The Wind Waker out, everything being used up. They just can't kill anyone. They'll get the Aegis at least, but that was the Battle Trance being used up on Monet. He's still gonna try, but now Minos, he's back in the team fight, right back onto that troll, and Monet's dead. XXS trying to go back home, back to the fountain, but it is way too far away, and the GG has been called. Thunder Predator pull off game one.
Yeah. And Frank played that last team fight pretty well.
Hi, this is Lorenzo from Dota Pro Games. On this channel, every day, we upload Dota games from pros like Arteezy, Paparazzi, Miracle, and many more. If you want to play like them and understand their secrets, consider subscribing to this channel. You will increase MMR in no time. Also, liking this video is free and will help me bring you more and more content. Enjoy the game. Thanks.
That was... Yeah.
You
Here
could-
are
you
the
could
other
s-
gods.
Yeah, you could see us smiling quite a lot here.
Yeah,
laughing,
we were
yeah.
laughing. We really enjoyed that.
Mhm.
But he was right, because Frank did play really, really well that game. I think the whole team of Thunder Predator played really well, and that means that Thunder Predator is one game away from making a top 8 here at the Major, and therefore taking home prize money and DPC points, while Aster is actually on the flip side of that. They are one game away from not getting anything.
I really understand what's happening now with the SA. It's the mental warfare. And these Chinese players, man, they're not accustomed to the level of ganks that you get on the mid lane.
Yes.
White Album, he solo kills the Wind Ranger, then gets ganked like 4 times by the Tusk. He was tilted the whole game. This is not White Album
Yeah.
Storm Spirit.
And it's not like something new just specific to this game. It's every game. That is the Moose way of Dota. Most teams are putting Tusk into that like 5 position role even. Moose is like, no. Any hero that roams, that ganks mid, that grabs runes, that's mine. And the way he and Leo Style played together was amazing.
It's really about the way he approaches mid lane as well. You sometimes you see him, but you don't really expect that movement to come your way because you see him, and then when he's there, it's way too late. You're just gone because he's either on the Tusk or the Earth Spirit. Overall, throughout the game, that isn't the only lane where it was broken down. Thunder Predator laned really well, but played after the lanes in a pretty convincing manner. They did make a couple of mistakes here and there. Aster did come back at one point, but the items from Thunder Predator to answer the troll were magnificent. Pango with the A on disc, E-Blade on the Anti-Mage. Meanwhile, the items on Aster, no Lincolns on Storm versus AM.
Yeah, I think when we look at the lanes, we have to mention also the top lane, that Anti-Mage off lane together with the Phoenix worked out. Well, it started out thinking like, oh, this is a bit rough, but it ended up working out quite well, gods.
Yeah, I mean, AM wasn't like that, top free farming, untouched kind of carry, but as far as the game went, the lane went well enough. He wasn't getting crushed. He was getting a decent amount of the lane, and then his teammates were able to create space for him so that he could free farm, so that he could be that top net worth carry in the game.
He had like a 14-minute Battle Fury. At the same time, mid lane had a very good start.
14-minute BKB Javelin.
Javelin BKB, 14 minutes, yeah.
I think he must be setting some farm records on Wind Ranger. He was so far ahead of everyone in the game.
He was like 4,
For
5,
sure.
1 in kills as well. It's true, you could see some mistakes coming from Minos here in the mid game, trying to jump that backline when Troll is nearby. The moment he jumps, Troll activates his ulti, he's dead. And it happened once, I believe, maybe twice, and they adjusted immediately. He had that Manta, he had E-Blade to jump out of it. Later on, even Wind Waker on Pango in case he gets rooted to save him.
You mentioned one power spike that Aster had, Lizard. I think we can break that down to the BKBs coming online for them. That's when they started looking like, okay, they got a little bit of a fighting chance, right?
The BKBs, also on that Prophet, the BKB Lanham at some point felt extremely difficult to deal with. A little bit concerned about Mad in this particular game. He had definitely better performances.
It's tough because the heroes he's playing against, all these heroes that can kind of catch and jump on him, but end of the day, that's most games. You're not going to have this free game as a fourth position where you can sit back, use all your spells. They made it tough.
Lion, for me, in high-level Dota is extremely difficult to play.
Yeah.
Like, it really is, because...
Positioning.
Exactly. And you have one Blink Dagger to allow you to do everything that you need to do. And if you do go too deep, you're just dead afterwards.
Yeah.
You can't show yourself in the laning stage as well, because in the lane, I mean, because you're just gone.
It's very different to the Phoenix we've seen play a lot, because that's a hero that you have the dive, you have the escapes, you can make plays if you are slightly out of position.
Yeah. Same with Tusk. Snowball, blink out, easy life.
Yeah. Easy life. Well, he makes it look easy. It's not that easy. Good luck in your pubs for sure. I want to hear from you guys. Do you think the MVP should be of this game? Because we're talking highly about Wind Ranger. Obviously, Leo still doing really well. Moose has been the MVP time and time again for us.
If Moose was time and time again,
Leo style.
Leo style?
Yeah. I think regardless of Moose, it's Leo style. He started on this game. He was running around making plays. He ruined the Timbers game. He was 2k net worth ahead of the Storm Spirit. He had I think most damage on his team were very similar to the anti-mage.
There is one thing that happened. He did die solo to the Storm Spirit, one-on-one, which is a big thing for
It's a team game,
yeah.
though.
But
He
it's a
can
team game.
rely
Exactly.
on his teammates. Also, he has a really cool name.
Yeah.
So
I don't mind that, because that's kind of his playstyle, where he's going off trying to make plays by himself, and sometimes it's going to backfire, you know.
Yep.
That's kind of like his SA flair in the mid lane. He's playing that kind of high risk, but it never really feels high risk. It's very calculated.
Throughout the game, it did backfire a couple of times when they're trying to just go head in first with Tusk and Wind Ranger. When they didn't have BKBs, they just die, but most of the time they had those BKBs, and then it is very safe.
Yeah, before the series started, we were maybe a little worried to see if Thunder Predator was thrown off their balance a little bit by their loss yesterday against Secret, but this first game proves that they are definitely not shaken at all, and they're looking strong. We're going to find out if they can, of course, repeat that performance in Game 2, or if Aster can force the third game out of this best-of-3 elimination series. Before we go to the break, though, it's time to talk about one of our sponsors, and I want to talk about commercials before we do that, because I know there's a lot of people that are missing out. There are some really good commercials happening here in Singapore. If you want to get them, by the way, you should do that anyway. You should watch on YouTube, because that's when you get the 4K stream, but you also get the better commercials, because I want to talk about Doggo, Arteezy,
Toenail,
Kaya
Seb,
Abudanda, and Kaya Seb. Yeah, it's so good. Set actually, but it's Seb. I don't know why nobody else ever came up with Toenail.
It's so
Is it just me?
I don't know. The commercials here are literally content. Like
Yes.
it's not really just a commercial.
Whenever OG play in the future, if they're doing well, it's no-toe, and they're doing badly, it's toenail.
Yes, I'm gonna keep that one too. Also, the whole production crew is here is clapping along every time the Shopee commercials on. But I know there's a lot of people on Twitch that might not have heard that one. So again, you're missing out. But in this case, the Toenail commercial with Doggo and Kaya Set and Abu Dendi and RTC is for DBS. And right now, if you have a DBS or a POCB card, you can get a 10% discount on the One Esports merch shop. So make sure to check that out. It is shop.oneesports.gg if I'm correct, and I am, no, let's not finish that sentence. No. I'm very humble, very humble. We're gonna take a quick break, but when we're back, it is time for Thunder Predator versus Aster, Game 2.
Sitting throwing rocks across the pavement, hoping it will cave and swallow me whole. Wonder why my mind keeps on spinning. This isn't how living to me was told. Why am I like this? Something's always amiss. Can't put my finger on it, but it's there. Wait for it to subside, but my mind won't apply. Waiting for the clear. Is it bad sometimes? I like it when I lose control. There's something in it that's so beautiful. Listen, I can see the light, but I can also see the bones decay. I don't know what else there is to say. I'm doing my best not to run away. Sitting throwing
On the line here, it's lower bracket time. One Esports Dota 2 Singapore Major is what you're watching, and we're in the middle of a series. Thunder Predator has just taken the first game against Aster, and Team Aster, it's looking pretty rough now. They are playing with the stand-in. Their coach, Mad, is standing in for Borax, who unfortunately, for reasons, couldn't make it here. They have not looked too shaken up by it, but definitely seeming to struggle here a little bit on the main stage, joined by Lizard and Gods. And this second game, we're going to see... What's the smile about, Lizard? You're having like some inner joke going on somewhere?
No, not at all. I'm just happy to be here. That's all.
Happy to be here.
Happy to not be eliminated from the tournament.
Yes. I'm happy to be here too. I think Thunder Predator seems very happy to be here. I think Aster would like some more time in between these games, Gods, because they need to fix out some issues here.
Yeah, there's a lot of experience and kind of veteranship from some of the Aster players, from the coach, as well as Lanham, the captain, and this is where that kind of experience needs to kick in. You're down a game, you got to make some adjustments, and we'll find out what those adjustments are.
Those adjustments so far are not there, right?
No,
because
correct. Earth Spirit Puck, IO Monkey King.
Yeah.
Same thing, and
DP.
same opener.
Yep.
Same opener.
If there's a Pango now, we're good. I mean, is this a good sign or a bad sign? Because both of these teams are drafting this like rapidly. Like there's no breaks, there's no hesitation. This is the first hesitation that we really see here from Thunder Predator. Do they want to go again for the Frank Pango?
They might first two Wind Ranger.
They might, yeah.
If they want it, they have
get
to.
banned out.
I feel like it's 100% getting banned if they don't pick it after last game. That's the adjustment. But they're going to go Pango.
They go with the Pango. Because probably you have replacements for the Wind Ranger. Pango is a different sort of a beast, a little bit harder to replace on that offlane. It just does way too much. I value the hero very,
and so
very highly.
much with very little, because they often sacrifice Frank's game to secure Leo Styles mid lane and MNZ's game. So having a hero like Pango that can do a lot with low farm is perfect for them.
And it is a hero that you can sack. It's one of those. You creep skip a little bit, and then if he has a good start and if the lane is good, then you buy that Orb of Corrosion and you dominate it. If not, you can sack him and rotate mid.
How much do you think Mad, as a coach, can still do his coaching job while also playing? Is that a thing? Like, because you mentioned it previous panel, Lizard, he was not performing to his top standards.
Yep.
So how much can he actually? Because how much can he actually read the game from that position as well? He's playing position 4. He can't really see the game with the helicopter view that you would if you're a coach.
Yeah.
It depends what he was doing as a coach as well. We've seen different players transition. I mean, Kaya said transition into being a player quite well. So
True.
From the coaching position, it all depends on how they delegate their responsibilities.
But
right?
even in those situations, like let's say the OG example, they then brought in a coach. They brought in soccer. I think it's always important to have that outside perspective, because when you're playing the game, you kind of have your biases about how the game went based on being in the game.
Yeah.
And I think that outside neutral perspective can be really important.
Yeah, and just a curveball when it comes to the Chinese region, Elephant lost. Like they lost. They're not here, right?
Yes.
So and they were the superstar team. Because of that, they're bringing in a coach. ROTK is joining them. So, like you said, it doesn't matter how skilled you are. Even a team of superstars such as them, they need that outside view. They need a second opinion.
Someone to guide them. Also, in most of the Chinese teams, most of the top tier Chinese teams anyway, the coach is doing all the drafting work as well.
Matt looked like he was coaching that last game a couple of times. Like he wasn't truly in.
He wasn't playing.
He wasn't really playing. He was just looking over his shoulder. What are you doing?
Sometimes, you know, do you ever catch yourself? You're looking at a different player, you're pinging him out for something that he's not doing right, and you die meanwhile while you're
I
doing
think that says a lot about the way you play Dota, Lizard.
I've had
player.
I've seen this. I've seen this happen not only to me. You know, you're looking at the team fight. Suddenly you're diving a tier 2 on the other side. Not on this level, but
it shouldn't happen on this level. Big respect ban there, by the way, from Team Aster. They managed to ban out the anti-mage. We said it, of course, on Minos' hands, and I mean it worked out well. But at the same time, he could have had a lot of different cores, I think, and done his job well with it as well.
The anti-mage was a really good pick because of the ulti versus Timbersaw versus Storm, and just gave them that hard carry potential later on in the game. It did look scary a couple of times, so I understand the respect ban. They're not really deviating from the plan way too much on Aster, Ursa, and Batrider protecting the Timber. And on Thunder Predator, it's Abaddon once again a little bit sooner. Bloodseeker versus the Pango, right?
Do you remember their last ban last time?
Yep.
This time Spectre.
Last time for Aster, it was Oracle Ursa Bat, and this time the Anti-Mage. And for Thunder Predator, it was Juggernaut Queen of Pain and Bloodseeker.
Oh, okay. They let the Queen of Pain through this time.
Yes.
I wouldn't mind maybe seeing Team Aster snatch that. It pretty much does not allow Thunder Predator to go for Wind Ranger afterwards because the matchup is a little bit difficult, and the Tusk won't have as much fun rotating on White Album. So I wouldn't mind seeing that.
We're going back for the Lion first. He wants a do-over. Actually, they want a do-over in general.
Yep, every pick so far from Team Aster is
and both Troll and Storm still in the pool, so Thunder Predator is not worried about going up against the same lineup, even if they don't have the anti-mage.
I think they know they can use that last pick of the draft to make sure they have a mid lane advantage. They're going to be, they already have the 4 position that roams. If Aster again is running support Lion Death Prophet, neither of those heroes helps mid lane the same way a Tusk can. Neither of those heroes secures runes as well as a Tusk can.
A Lion can be sometimes pretty good versus Tusk, but you need to be there before he is. And then you just spike on top of the snowball and you turn that gank upside down. But the problem is, Moose, he just rotates way too well. You don't see him, and by the time you TP, you're mostly just stealing the experience, and that's it.
It feels like enemy mid laners are never getting a single power rune when Moose is in the game.
We got another Phoenix coming out. We saw it work out very well previous game, so no surprise.
Didn't they ban out Jug to the last game when they took Phoenix? They did, right?
They did.
So this time around, they take the Jug and the Phoenix.
So heroes that are still in the pool that were 4th phase or last phase banned, 3rd phase banned last time around. The Invoker, the Razor, and the Weaver. But they go for the Troll again. Okay, sure. I mean, you know, they believe that their draft was not the problem. Or if it was the Anti-Mage that was the problem.
Yeah, and, you know, AM, once it got to late game, was able to carry and did have really good matchups against 2 cores, but we actually saw, I feel like that game would have been easier for Thunder Predator if Anti-Mage was just a better hero. It's not a good hero in the current patch.
Yeah.
It had to be the perfect AM game, and even then, it wasn't clear-cut.
Yep. Even then, the game stretched for quite a long while, and they have to itemize properly. Sometimes, when you don't have the perfect draft, you itemize accordingly to fill in those gaps. And they definitely did that with an E-Blade, with a Wind Waker, with Aeon Discs. Team Aster banning out that Razor, OD, both heroes extremely good versus Troll and Timber, respectively. So.
And Storm still removed as well.
Yeah, Quap and Storm versus White Album.
So what is White Album going to play instead? That's the question. He could, of course, still play the Death Prophet, so there is that curveball, and that will be the case as Oracle will be the hero picked up last. And I really hope they're not going to put Lion or Oracle mid instead.
No.
Their last game,
Hopefully not.
potentially.
Yeah.
This might be where this is really nice because Thunder Predator themselves usually have played like a quap mid against Death Prophet, and that's a hero they
And
banned.
that's banned, yeah.
they banned it themselves to prevent White Album.
Yeah, there are still some heroes that work well against that Prophet, ranged heroes.
What about the Void Spirit that has been top pick for so many teams? We've seen it ignored this series altogether.
It's not the greatest laner versus that Prophet.
Okay.
But it's nice, and it's good to have a backline jumper versus Oracle. I wouldn't mind it. They can go with even an SF that I've seen picked versus that Prophet that works really well if they play it, and they do play. They first picked it even in one of their games.
Yeah, but
and
yes,
it's the
they
SF
did.
into a lineup with no supports that are good gank like roamers. They're not against the Earth Spirit, the Tusk. So
Yeah, and here as well, right? Like Lion and Oracle. Why not? It's a decent option. Heroes that also work well versus that Prophet, Zeus. Alina is an option if you really want to go that way. There you go.
Nice, yeah. Why is Lina a good option?
It's all about the laning stage, pretty much. It's a hero that fares well versus that Prophet. There aren't many at the moment. And it's also a hero that can help you burst down the Timber Saw. So you're kind of dealing with two problems at the same time.
Okay. Is it enough to make you think that this will be a 2-0? Some hesitation there.
I still
for
have.
me, absolutely.
Yeah. I still have.
Yeah, I think Thunder Predator, the way they played Dota last game was amazing. They controlled the early to mid game so well, and I think this Lina pick it works great for them. It fits their draft. It deals with what Aster picked. So yeah, Thunder Predator for me.
I still like Aster's draft more, but I can't any longer. Like I went versus Thunder Predator already. I was wrong, proven wrong. So I'm going to switch up and
He jumped ship.
Join the SA side.
Yeah.
Good. Get on board. SA Dota is it's going places.
I will also go for Thunder Predator. I am very curious though. We talk about the mid lane a lot. I want to know when we see Lina go up against the Death Prophet, how much are there going to be rotations and how much does it matter? How much does Lina need a rotation against a Death Prophet and vice versa? Does Death Prophet need rotations against a Lina?
It doesn't need them, but I think he's going to get them on Lina. That's just how it works. They're going to not
But
care about
if we
Frank.
know how that works, and Aster know how that works.
I think
they need to adjust, right?
Yeah, I think Aster need to do a good job contesting runes. They can't let Lina get like haste runes and DDs and constantly sustain the mid lane with rune control.
Hi, this is Lorenzo from Dota 2 Pro Games. On this channel, every day, we upload Dota games from pros like Arteezy, Paparazzi, Miracle, and many more. If you want to play like them and understand their secrets, consider subscribing to this channel. You will increase MMR in no time. Also, liking this video is free and will help me bring you more and more content. Enjoy the game. Thanks.
Best-of-3 series between Thunder Predator and Aster, and Black, would you believe it, another 5-man smoke straight off the bat to start us off with this game to right into the dive jungle.
Here. Yeah, but it looks like he's just going to be safe at the tower. And we have seen Matt type in all chat, the god of SA. That's exactly how it looks like right now. Thunder Predator popping off, man. Was on nobody's radar. They've been doing so well throughout this entire, tournament. And yeah, let's see if they can take it 2-0 or not.
One thing that kind of concerns me, though, at least for Aster, they went for the exact same draft, except they got an Oracle now. So Aster literally drafting the exact same thing, maybe just assuming that, maybe they played it wrong, maybe just a few misplays kind of screwed it up. Do you think this draft fits against what Thunder Predator's got going?
It's a good draft. This time it's a DP middle paired up with an Oracle, which is one of the deadliest combinations in Dota. But I really like the response here from Thunder Predator. With the Lina middle, we have seen, I think, 1 or 2 Linas in the mid lane absolutely take over the game. And Lina destroys Death Prophet in lane. So it's one of the best answers they could have possibly picked. And especially together with the Tusk, I feel like there's going to be a lot of action in the mid lane. And Aster will have to respond promptly and appropriately, because otherwise his DP is going to be in trouble.
Leo is a very strong Lina player to boot, so it's definitely going to be a very hard time for White Album. Of course, White Album last game was having a pretty good game for himself after the initial laning stage, but again, just a couple mistakes and it all went downhill. Like you said, this lane not going to be very easy. Already taking quite a bit of damage. It does seem like he's probably going to have to bring some more regen out for himself on this DP. Already starting off with the salve, but I feel like he might just need a little bit more. I mean, we're only at level 1, and he's almost through that HP pool. I have to commit the salve very soon.
Yeah, probably will have to buy like another salve, a bottle, maybe a bunch of tangos. It's really just all about out-sustaining the Harris damage of Lina here. And Moose doing a very good job pulling the creep wave here. It's quite low though, so Lanham could potentially Harris him out of there. Make sure that the creeps run into the tower. Mad on that line
Bot
again.
lane. Minos, he's going to go for a spin. Secure some CS. He wasn't actually thinking he could kill anyone. Meanwhile, top Moose dropping very low, but he does get his own salve off, and Lanham has been very good at contesting this creep pool from Moose. Courier gonna go down. Frank just falling asleep at the wheel there does end up paying for it.
He dropped the Orb of Venom though for the task to pick up, so he will be delivering that to him shortly. Well played there by him. Making the best out of a bad situation.
He was actually pretty sick. I haven't seen that in a very long time. So nice reactions there from Frank. There you go. He'll bring over the Orb of Venom.
Be careful
the
here.
bot lane, a lot of damage. Out onto Mad. Icarus Dive does actually connect, but they aren't going to make the chase. Mad is going to be just left on 70 HP, but he'll be alive. He's going to be very careful though. He has absolutely no regen on him. Just that ring of regen.
The lanes once more are going to be quite tough though, other than the mid lane. I think Aster should be winning both side lanes quite easily. Like Troll absolutely beats Pangoli. We can see it in the CS2. Pango only sitting at 3, and Timbersaw doesn't really get Harris down here at all.
Moose, he was getting aggressive there with the tag team. Swashbuckle was out by Frank. Spot lane, XXS. Still having a decent enough time, 15 and 4 now, but Minos, he always seems to find the farm regardless of his matchup. I guess the Timber's not too bad anyway, but it's slightly concerning here for XXS, just trying to pressure Minos out, and he just never seems to leave. He's always just back at that creep wave. Meanwhile, mid, Leo, dropping pretty low in HP himself, but he's going to have his salve. He'll be just fine.
DP is doing very well for himself, a White Album. A little skirmish here, Phoenix versus Lion, but shouldn't be... Yep, nothing comes of it. I'm surprised that he's doing this well, to be honest, in his DP. It's usually quite Lina favored, but he's even leading in CS.
It is impressive from White Album. You haven't been talking to me all day about how broken this DP hero is. So I guess even in this kind of matchup, White Album, he just proves it again. Very strong indeed.
Yeah, DP is definitely one of the big patch heroes. Minos struggling quite a bit now. We'll have his healing ward soonish. So we'll be able to get back up to full health once he hits level 4. And Bottle coming out for Lina now.
What a hunk, fire.
Monet up at that top side is having a real nice time, and you kind of talk about the Troll. He doesn't really lose lanes at all. Very, very rare for Monet to lose lanes on this hero, but well, bot lane Minos still playing with fire, it seems like. XXS sticking around. They aren't going to be able to kill him with a spin anyway.
Straight blows here. Like, he doesn't care at all about getting righted by the Juggernaut. It just kind of feels like a bad trade for the Jug overall. They should never be able to kill this Timbersaw. The Timber Chain, of course, on a very low cooldown. I'm just very worried about his Pangoli once more here. Frank having another very rough laning phase. More than getting doubled up by the
It just didn't
Troll.
seem to matter last game, though, with Frank.
It didn't, but Lina was absolutely crushing the game. I mean, the Wind Ranger was absolutely crushing the game. Oh, getting low on the Phoenix, making it out okay though. And this game, the Lina doesn't seem to be even winning his lanes, so there will be a lot more pressure on Frank this time around. And I don't know if he can live up to it with the little farm and experience he's getting right now.
See, certainly a very tough time already for Thunder Predator. Aster looking good. Mad and Lan M have shown up in the mid lane. they're both going to try and soak XP in this mid lane as White Album, he does disappear for a bit. He just wanted to go all the way back to the fountain. The support's kind of just sharing a lane for a bit, and now they'll leave, but actually Minos, lane very low. Meanwhile, top, they are going to make the dive in onto Monet. They're going to try and get this troll down. Whirling axes are there, but it will not be enough. MJZ able to take the kill. Meanwhile, mid, they are chasing down Leo. Does take the Crypt Swarm, but is going to be just fine. Run his way back to the fountain.
Lanham on the prowl here. One double new combination. He could potentially get the kill here. And he finds him.
Trying. Laguna committed. Leo going to try and juke out of the tree line. Lanham, can he really find him? Not quite.
Oh, he nuked himself.
Oh, Leo. He outplays him, and the tips come out from Moose. Oh, Lanham.
He outplayed him so hard that he healed himself.
It was worth a try. Monet, top lane again, going to be in danger. Tag team activated, but no hits come in.
Yeah, Troll is a very tough kill. Those whirling axes, of course, blinding up everybody. And Minos TP top with like 10% health, but of course has the healing ward, so should be up to full in no time. And he just wants to evacuate the bottom lane immediately. Like, you can't lane against this Timbersaw anymore. White Album also rotating immediately with that exorcism to get the tower down, open up the map. Land in trouble here again.
Mid lane. Yep, Light Striker A does land with the snowball follow-up. They do get another.
He just respawned, man.
On that Oracle.
To live or not to live. Lanham's choice is no life today.
No life
Playing
today,
very
indeed.
aggressively here in the Oracle. Here's Omni Slash available.
Minos. Yeah, Mad. I believe he spotted him out there for a second. Or maybe not. He ran back in for the creep wave. Minos going to move in from the backside. Mad, he'll get the Hex off. The snowball is in from the right side. Spin. Not going to really reach, but a great chance out to lock Mad in. And will eventually get him. Moose. He'll take the kill on the Tusk.
Yeah. Good rotation by XXS as well. Just defending the mid tower after taking the bot one. Playing the Timbersaw to full strength right now. He's up at the top with 4k net worth right now. It's a very strong Timbersaw. It's going to be incredibly tough to kill him. Still doesn't have the hood though. So magic damage is still a good answer to him. As I say that, the cloak is flying in already. So he's going to be very tanky here.
Yeah, they're trying to force in that mid lane. White Album doesn't have the ulti up. Thunder Predator, they're just kind of invading the Dire jungle for now, but it is a bit too early for that. They'll head back as XXS shows up, but the chain's off the mark, and now the tag team's going to be activated. Minos, he still has the Omni, but doesn't have the mana for it. Now he does, and will commit it immediately. It's not going to be that much damage, but it might just be enough with the control from Frank, but no, the Earth Spike. Mad will buy enough time for XXS to get out of there. Frank, he wants to keep going. Shards out, Moose helping. Mad will give his life away, but XXS does survive.
I'm a little bit surprised that Frank chose to end his Rolling Thunder a bit prematurely. I think he could have at least gotten one, if not two more stuns there on him. Maybe he thought they have enough burst damage, but gets away on the Timbersaw here. 5-0, but the gold lead still slightly in favor of Aster. So getting better out of the lanes for sure.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Monet.
The net worth lead moving their way now, Thunder Predator.
Yep, after taking the top
Still a
tower.
bit of catching up to do.
Yeah. They're going for the same items again. Both carries are going for the Battle Fury. Probably pretty mirrored item builds again. Lina, we haven't seen too much action from him yet. Oh, Timbersaw playing a little bit aggressive here, but
Radiant's middle tower
nothing to come off it.
Moose. Watson Zen gonna fly out. Lanham hold him down. Monet his way in. Moose, nice shots.
Nice.
TP away. Tips out to Lanham. Lanham just having no mercy today from Moose.
Yeah, Lanham looking a little bit flustered here after that mid dive. Made a couple of uncharacteristic mistakes. Pangolier only sitting at level 6. Like, he's having, as we said, another very rough game, but his supports are having a great game. Phoenix sitting at 3k net worth already, and Tusk also doing very well for himself.
Certainly making up for that mid laner, at least for now. Buying plenty of time for Leo Style. Ball lane again. Frank is staring down Monet on that troll. Now you're going to head over. Frank can't really kill him himself, but he's going to actually pop the Rolling Thunder. In this small area, he's going to have a lot of control. Now the snowball in from the low ground. Can they really kill him off? No, he gets the battle trance in time. Now Frank is the one that is in danger. Sunray, swashbuckle out. Monet gets the false promise. Lan M, he'll play no games. Make sure the troll does survive.
Little unfortunate.
Frank, had he not got him stuck in that corner?
Yeah. Was unlucky. Pretty unfortunate here for the Thunder Predator side, but still, you know, just keeping the pressure up, keeping them on their toes, forcing Oracle ult. Oh, Egg committed as well.
Committed, Shard to block the way he cannot get out. The Egg still doing damage. Monet, he's not going to get stunned, but he has no way of surviving with Battle Transport Mad. Will help him with the Earth Spike. Moose, I'm not sure why Lan M keeps getting tipped by Moose, but he'll get another one.
Yep, as we said, mental warfare, very important in Dota. Just keep up the mental pain as well as the physical pain. Now up 2k gold here, Lina and Juggernaut are getting very rich. Complete free farm on both of them, while they're pressuring the troll quite a bit. So the Battle Fury timing is going to be a lot better here for the Juggernaut. Just needing a Void Stone at this point.
Aster. Gonna try it to Frank. Mad, looking for that stun, but he's not gonna be able to get it. Leo, meanwhile, has been pushing in that mid-tier 1 tower quite effectively. He's just been allowed to right-click it. XXS, he's around. He does use himself through the snowball. Light Strike Array is out with the Walrus Punch, but they have nowhere near enough damage. Now Moo's going to try and find his way out of this situation, but there is no way out. Aster, with the rotations, do at least get something for their trouble. And even bot lane, Monet, ends up killing off that Phoenix.
Yeah, a little bit over-aggressive here. Phoenix getting caught out of position. 2 very good kills. This should lead to a mid tower probably, which they desperately need here. Aster got to open up the map a little bit more. Yeah, pop the Exorcism for it as well. Rolling Thunder though.
Rolling Thunder. Mad going to be targeted on the Lion. And M trying to save the day with the Fates Edict, but now he's being stunned up by Frank. They're going to make sure the Oracle just gets blown up by the Laguna Blade. Aminos, who do you want to aim? He's got the Omni, he's got the spin. Just want to use it on XXS, of course. As long as they hold that mid-tier 1, it seems the Thunder Predator are going to be pretty satisfied.
Yeah, that's all they came to do. They just want to make sure that Juggernaut has a safe triangle to farm in, and Troll still 800 gold away from his Battle Fury, while Juggernaut already has his on a very good way to a Yasha timing here as well. Looking pretty decent for Thunder Predator so far.
Nice little swipe there from Leo Style. Make sure he does take the Arcane Rune for himself. So things just going swimmingly, it seems, even though the lanes weren't perfect for Thunder Predator, but they do end up out on top. Like, you look at Minos, his farm, 7.1k. Just 1k ahead of Monet. Monet's still trying to farm up that Battle Fury as we speak. The timing just not going to be quite as fast.
However, the carry-carry matchup goes into favor of Aster again this game. We'll have to see if it makes a difference this game, because last game, it didn't. Like, Thunder Predator just outplayed them from start to finish.
Bottom lane, XXS, right in onto Moose. He's just kind of running around in circles, trying to avoid the damage. And now, straight TP. Oh my goodness, that was a lot of damage.
Nah, calculated.
He does just TP up.
Yeah, I know Moose. He is a 5-head. Like, he could give me the
for his Chad.
No, he knew what 10 times 10 was, like, instantly. I was like, wow, dude, that's impressive.
What? How?
I don't know, dude. Like, even now, I don't know. I've been Googling for so long, I just can't find the answer.
Crazy.
Insane.
XXS mid lane. And JZ take one Whirling Death, but he'll be all right. They still want that tier 1 mid. XXS, they're going to focus him down with the Laguna Sunray, everything being thrown out but the kitchen sink. They get the kill. Onto LAN M they go, the Yule's out. Minos still has that Omni. A great Earth Spike by Mad, but it is not going to be enough. Thunder Predator looking like the better team at the moment. 3k net worth lead. And are they heading for a Roshan again? Yes, they are.
They have a lot of damage. They have Pangolier. Should be a pretty easy Roshan for them. But they're up in 10 seconds. Let's see if they're fast enough here. You can just see the Sun Ray. Like, it's just absolutely eating up the Timbersaw's health. One of the strongest scaling spells in Dota, of course. It deals so much damage. Also, one of the main reasons why we see this Phoenix picked up so regularly. Roshan down. Leo style picks up the Aegis again.
Mad. Oh, poor Mad. He's had a tough time. Moves will continue to haunt him. Now they'll turn, though, with the finger. They'll take down the Tusk. But there's your Omni Slash right onto White Album. Laguna going to take care of Mad on the Lion. Minos, he didn't get that full duration Omni. The Yules did save White Album. They just want to retreat. Minos actually falling quite low on the jug, but with the spin, he'll be just fine. Aster, they'll get back into the mid-tier 1 tower. Lift up. They're still not going to go down. Onto the Pangolier, Frank, he's dropping low, but he's still going to survive. The Tusk, Shards out, Rolling Thunder being committed. They will not allow Aster.
Yeah.
They just won't let Aster get that mid-tier 1.
Yeah, they want to keep it for as long as possible. Like, it's one of the most important, if not the most important power in Dota, and they're doing a perfect job at protecting it. Even through Exorcism and through all these big teamfight spells that Aster throwing at them. Leo style, still with that Aegis, going into the BKB next. Gonna be a very strong timing for him. At least Troll caught up to the Juggernaut now. So they're pretty much on par when it comes to farm.
It does feel like Minos has just been rather fighting a lot more though than say Monet, who's been really just focused in on just trying to farm up this whole game as top lane. Spin away from Minos, Mad. Stick around, but they aren't confident enough to go back in. Maybe assuming the Thunder Predator's right behind the jug.
Which they are now.
Leo, he's on the other side, and now they're coming in. They want to go after XXS. I strike a Ray on point. Leo, they have the damage. It's going to be a little bit challenging. Snowball, Shards, everything thrown out with the Sunray and Laguna again. But XXS is still alive. Now they can try to turn.
Well.
On Thunder there, and available XXS onto the high ground. They're posturing, but they're not really willing to engage yet, Aster.
Just trying to get as much farm as possible here. On the Troll, he hasn't really been part of any fight for the last like 9 minutes. Just absolutely prioritizing his farm. And he's closing in on that BKB. Now getting his triangle invaded though.
And then Minos. And can always just spin away. It's very hard to lock down the jug.
It is. Like, it's going to be very hard to kill him like throughout this entire game. They will need a basher on Troll before they can ever really kill him. Potentially a Blink Dagger on Lion, which is only 700 gold away. So it's going to be a pretty big power spike for them as well in terms of pickoff. And they're smoking into Thunder Predator here.
Oh, Leo, he ran right into him. They get the Aegis immediately. They get him a second time. Leo very out of position. Is
good egg
trying to run away. They do drop the egg. Leo style now with the Laguna. They take down XXS. White Album has been stunned. The Omni committed. They will get another. LAN M, of course, will not escape the grip of Moose. Just 3 down instantly.
Out is super hard.
They got the Aegis,
Dual step,
that
they're
was
not
it.
up on DP. Omni Slash just completely takes down DP from full to 0. And there's just absolutely nothing they can do. They need to Troll in the front line with their BKB now. It's just so tough for them to ever start a teamfight, really. So much teamfight on the Radiant side. Very scary to ever really initiate into.
It's like, who does initiate? Are you kind of relying on Mad here? Like, XXS, he's constantly frontlining for the team, but feels like there's nobody really to just jump in and start the fight for Aster.
I mean, frontlining is good. It's just if you can't keep him there, you know, they'll just run around you in circles and there's nothing you can do about it. Lion chose also to not go for the blink dagger, going to Ether Lens instead, so they really don't have any initiate other than potentially a Timber Saw that goes
Mid
into
lane,
duels.
LAN-M,
Oracle.
caught again by our Tusk. It's a lot of damage. Gonna try and turn and at least kill off Moose. Rolling Thunder onto XXS. Minos, meanwhile, on the high ground, trying to get that Oracle, but now Monet, he's willing to fight with the Battle Trance, right in onto the Jug. Maybe they have enough. Minos trying to mantle off, but it is not going to be enough. Monet does secure the kill. Back on a Moose now. They try for the Tusk. They should get him eventually. Pulls him up. Make sure he can't go anywhere, and they do end up getting two. But that's probably the first team fight Aster's run successfully here.
Yeah, overstaying their welcome here heavily on a Juggernaut, getting punished for it for the first time this game. Good for Aster that they finally managed to take down the Juggernaut, who was pulling pretty far ahead of the Troll, but with that kill, they're all but even again. It's still a little bit worrisome though, like the DP is stopping to scale a little bit. Dina's outfarming him quite heavily.
On the Predator. I'm moving up toward the north. Line being drawn out right around Monet. Massive target, Leo. Light Striker 8, immediate Laguna. No playing around into the Rolling Thunder. BKB though. Is there in time from Monet? Frank is going to try and roll his way out. Is him down, try to punish. Yules is there, but a great shot from Moose. Look at that.
What is that egg though?
That's a Chad Moose move.
That was a very, yeah, it's called a panic egg. The peg. Very popular in high MMR games. A lot of people like to throw out the pegs.
Pegs are good.
Oh, pegs are alright, yeah.
Shards, just the shards are always on point though, right? Like just blocking that pathway, not allowing them to come through. Yeah, the egg was unnecessary,
but really good job. He's one of the best task players in SA, if not the best.
I have to agree.
What are they? So the thing is, they're not really building into initiation items still on this Dire side. Like, the only way they really kill people is if Thunder Predator chooses to run into them. Like, they can't really be the aggressor this game, which is a pretty big problem. Like, if you can never start fights on your terms, it's gonna be very hard to win this game ultimately. Lion is now still not building into a Blink Dagger, going into Force Staff next. Lane moves to ping in.
Snowball right onto Monet again. He does have his BKB ready to go. In fact, they will turn around with the finger. They'll get the task. Minos to keep going. XXS will be able to chamber. Now the Rolling Thunder. Frank, he wants to go in. They'll focus down Mad first. The Lion, one of the easier pickoffs on LAN-M. He's just going to hide with the false promise and get ready to try and turn this team fight. They do go back onto the Jug. He'll spin away. Laguna is committed. White Album still alive and still healthy.
Yeah, Omnislash still up though, so they need to respect that. A lot of damage potential coming out of that spell. And there's an Exorcism committed for not a whole lot of reward here for Team Aster. And without that Exorcism, I think Thunder Predator is going to feel very comfortable to take the next team fight.
Still a 5k net worth lead here for Thunder Predator. Roshan just respawning now. Fast they get vision of that Roche. We saw last time how fast they can take it with that tag team. Monet will run into Frank. Frank, Guardian Greaves off the ensnare.
So many
get
roots.
away, just barely.
Yeah, blessed by Gaben in that moment. But even the power of Gaben is not enough to defeat Frank.
Frank is a tough guy for sure.
Yeah. I've seen him, man. Like, when he stares at you, like, your entire body just freezes. You can't move anymore. Like, I would call myself a pretty big Chad, but even I just froze in place. Could not move.
Frank is scary for sure, Black. Very intimidating. Monet gonna move in. Aegis is gonna be taken by Minos. I want to keep going. Frank, he does have that Rolling Thunder. Gonna catch anyone out. Aster, they're just gonna back off, back to the drawing board, back to farming. Feels like a bit of a similar story to last game almost. BZ, Icarus dive gonna be cancelled by the Yule Scepter. Still, there is help around, but they're gonna hex him up with a snowball. It's great snowball out into the egg. They're gonna try and focus this egg down, and they'll get it with the Battle Trance. Omni Slash, not gonna be too great. It was through the false promise. Monet is gonna go for a run as Frank controls up everyone else. Lan M is the one to drop. Under Predator,
for the Phoenix.
They lose a Phoenix, but it doesn't matter. They buy back and they're into the tier 2 top tower.
But just remember, this fight was without Exorcism. So it was a very weak DP, and they still kind of got ahead out of this fight. So don't underestimate the team fight once the DP ult is really online. It's gonna deal a ton of damage to all these heroes.
Moose in by himself onto XXS, just gives him the punch. Shards out, he's buying a lot of time, Leo style. He's gonna force staff in now with the Light Strike Array. Laguna.
And they're playing so well on Thunder Predator.
I feel like things that go up against Thunder Predator, they can't give the Tusk away. This man's too good on this hero.
Just in general, like, they seem to be feeling themselves right now too hard. Like, the team play is off the charts. They always just supplement each other so well in these fights. They always wait for each other perfectly. Good timing on all their spells. You know, they always play on a very high ping online, kind of like Dragon Ball Z, with those ankle weights, you know, those weighted cloaks. The gravity room.
Or like the hyperbolic time chamber.
Yeah, exactly.
Thunder Predator, they've been training for years. Span of a few months, and you can see the progress. Aster, having no idea what to do about this. Minos just runs up to the tier 2. They're trying to hit him to force him back. He's just not moving. Absolute unit that is Minos.
He's really surviving with the Scotty. 2.5k health. They get the tower. Can't really fight into this Juggernaut right now. He's just too tanky. No chance for them to get into the backline.
Absolutely not. You can really see it in the play of Aster. They really just don't seem to have much of a game plan as to how they're going to answer this Jug. Or even just the whole team of Thunder Predator.
They cannot initiate. That's the problem. Like, Juggernaut is hitting there, standing there. What can they do? They have nobody that can jump him with a stun. Like, there's just not a whole lot of threat coming out from this Aster itemization / draft here. They can get away with a lot on the Radiant side because of it.
Monet gets a nice ensnare off. Healing ward down. Minos again just spins out.
Yeah. 140 HP per second, by the way.
Monet. Be very cautious. If there is a blink on Moose, he can get the disable instantly. And lock him down with the Light Strike Array follow-up.
Smoke up here by Radiant. Thunder Predator looking potentially to kill someone that's farming the enemy jungle here. Will they find someone? Mad or the DP are two potential targets. DP no BKB yet. He seems to be the one.
Oh, one album. He doesn't want to die like this. Observer ward moves. He's going to find him with the Observer ward. It gives him enough vision. Now the snowball out. The Warrior's Punch, the follow-up stun.
All right, Moose, calm down.
Quick thinking.
Calm down, dude. Like, you gotta relax. Like, keep some for the next rounds of the tournament. Like, wow. Chill.
I'm telling you,
that was super quick thinking.
You can't give him the Tusk.
Don't give him the Tusk, and don't let him purchase any Observer wards, apparently. Like, he's doing God's work with those as well. Placing a lot of them by himself also. Don't let him play Dota. Exactly.
That's it. That's the only answer.
Somebody just rang my bell here, but I'm gonna just ignore it because I'm a Chad. You know, like, I answer the door when I want to answer the door.
Yeah, thank you for that, Black. Minos. So, he's gonna get a few right clicks there from Monet, but not gonna lead to much. Aghanim Scepter coming up very soon on our Jug. That's that massive power spike on every Juggernaut. That's the point where it feels like you can't really control him anymore in the fights. Just so much damage output, so many ways of juking you out and making it impossible to lock you down. There's barely any stuns already on Aster to begin with.
I really don't know what the game plan here is for Aster. They just seem to be sitting back. They have been inside their base for the last 5 minutes. And I really don't know how they should get out of base. Like, the only way they can really run in is like DP runs in and it gets Oracle ulted and they somehow start a fight that way. But what if Thunder Predator just runs away? Like, there's literally what they can do. They can just run away because they have no lockdown. No forms of initiation. Like, they must feel so uncomfortable here on Aster.
I imagine so. They're in their base, but it's not going to feel great. Monet he's trying to get the Abyssal Blade, but it literally feels like the exact same story that we just saw about 40 minutes ago. They are grouped up. Maybe they'll try for a smoke. Just feels like there's no objective
the last
to
5
play
minutes,
for.
unfortunately.
Minos, fuel stop.
Here's
Here's now looking
Acceptor.
to reinitiate. Goes in with the Walrus Punch. They've got the Sunray immediately onto XXS. I strike array. Leo style. Holds on to it for now, but does get it off with the Yule Scepter to follow up. Monet. Really can't do much.
Can't catch anyone.
Into the jug. They can't. They can't lock anyone down.
They're just running around circles. On the Predator, they know exactly that Aster has no way of locking them down, so they're just kind of going in and out, you know, as they please. Now 13k net worth ahead. They're not letting them farm their own jungle. Like, this net worth is just growing every minute. Aster needs to find a way to get out of the base. Like, they need to somehow find a smoke. Just run in, you know? You need to run in, get your DP ult going somehow, and then let the Lion do his work.
Nate, go to the low ground. They are waiting for the Predator very patiently. Matt, he was being down, but there's a Swift Slash from Minos, and now the Walrus Punch immediately onto the Lion. That is all your disable gone. Frank, he will chase down Monet. False Promise is immediately thrown out, but they just have so much damage. Thunder Predator will find White Albert. Battle Trance pop. Monet's trying to fight back, but indeed the guy is here. Thunder Predator just look unstoppable in the GG's
GG! Again, complete outplay 2 games in a row, man. And whoever was doubting Thunder Predator after the Secret game yesterday, whew, it's a rude awakening for you. And also shows how good Secret really are. Thunder Predator this game again. Good draft, good execution. And
Hi, this is Lorenzo from Dota 2 Pro Games. On this channel, every day, we upload Dota games from pros like Arteezy, Paparazzi, Miracle, and many more. If you want to play like them and understand their secrets, consider subscribing to this channel. You will increase MMR in no time. Also, liking this video is free and will help me bring you more and more content. Enjoy the game. Thanks.
Thank you, MLP, for keeping Black in check there as well. I'm here with Lizard and Gods, and yeah, that is Thunder Predator making it through. They are considered top 8 here at the Major. Aster going home. They are eliminated from the Major. And overall, this game, we're going to break it down. It was a bit more close, Gods, than game number 1. Obviously, we saw coming out from Aster a very similar game plan.
Yeah, and the lanes went much better this time around, I think, is where things looked okay for Aster. But then it kind of fell apart in the mid-game. And I think what was most impressive for me and where Thunder Predator pulled away was MNZ's Jug. He's farming Battle Fury, and he's constantly with his team, pushing, fighting. He's not playing this, oh, I'm going to go Battle Fury and just AFK farm solo Dota. He is always there, even though he is going for the farming items.
And I would answer like this. It's a Jug, you have spin, it's easy for you to contribute early on, but he was doing pretty much the same with Anti-Mage.
Yeah.
So it's really to his playstyle. He does it on every single hero, it looks like. But overall, Thunder Predator, extremely strong showing here versus Aster. Can't take anything pretty much away from their game style and gameplay. They can be a little bit aggressive at times, a little bit too greedy at times, but it pays off. Like, they benefit from it quite a bit.
And so often we've seen these kind of quote-unquote underdog teams coming into a tournament do surprisingly well, but then they meet adversity. In this case, they meet Team Secret, drop down, and then sadly they get knocked out. They look like the same Thunder Predator we saw in the group stage. They were not affected by that loss at all.
And me personally, I do come from the DPC CN. I was casting Aster for a really long time, but I'm happy that they're through because they topped their groups. They did so well. They deserve it.
It's so good for the competitive Dota scene. Right now, regional biases aside, there is such a parity between different regions, like where you have an SA team suddenly in the top 8, and this wasn't even the the number 1 SA team from the DPC leagues. You have the European teams that were hyped up, some of them faltering. We have teams from all regions performing at a high level right now.
It is actually, I can't stress that enough as well. It's so good for Dota as a whole to see Thunder Predator perform the way they are, and they 100% deserve these wins. They have been playing amazingly well, and this has been a joy to watch. On the side of Aster, sure, they're playing with the stand-in, but I must also say maybe a little bit of the game plan, just in general, like the gameplay. Okay, we can make excuses for that, but the game planning, you can't, Lizard.
I mean, they. What excuse can you make? They literally came with the same thing twice, right? Like two same drafts, more or less identical. So they had some idea. They had an idea that did not work. They repeated it, thinking, it was just the mid laner. If we switch it up, if we put the Dead Prophet there, it did look a little bit better. Not good enough.
Almost a bit of stubbornness where they didn't want to try and basically make Thunder Predator play an uncomfortable game. They were just letting Thunder Predator do everything they wanted to do because they just felt like their way of playing Dota was going to work fine, and not the case.
We can make a case for every single player on Thunder Predator for MVP, and we have been making cases for every single player of Thunder Predator for MVP. But this game and this series, perhaps in total, who do we have? We went with Liustel last time. I would be tempted to give it to him again, but because we gave it to him last time, I kind of don't want to.
Oh, we can choose Frank.
Frank, yeah. Frank or MNZ. I mean, like you say, everyone on the teams played so well. It really was a full team effort. But
what I really liked about Frank is that he is not sticking to the conventional build on Pango right now. It's still conventional, obviously, but he went for the Greaves.